Let us begin with a truth that often goes unnoticed. Life does not happen to us, it happens through us. The world you see, the circumstances you face, and the life you lead are not imposed upon you, they are reflections of what you carry within. When I realized this, everything changed. Today I want to share 5 transformative habits that reshaped my existence. They may seem simple, but their impact is profound. In the quiet recesses of your mind lies a force so powerful, it shapes the very fabric of your existence. This force is your inner conversation, the ceaseless dialogue you hold with yourself day in and day out. Many people overlook it, dismissing it as mere thoughts or fleeting whispers, yet it is the architect of your reality. Every word, every feeling, and every belief you silently entertain within yourself is creating the world you experience. To understand the power of inner conversations is to grasp the key to transforming your life. Your inner dialogue is not idle chatter. It is the blueprint of your destiny, what you continuously affirm to yourself, whether consciously or unconsciously, manifests as the circumstances of your life. If you often think, "I am not good enough," the world will echo this sentiment, presenting situations and people that reinforce your belief. Conversely, if your inner speech is filled with confidence and conviction, saying, "I am deserving of the best," life will reflect that, providing opportunities and blessings in alignment with this truth. To grasp the magnitude of this, consider the principle of self-concept. The way you see yourself determines what you allow into your life. If you believe yourself to be capable, worthy, and abundant, you open the door to those experiences. Your inner conversation acts as a guard at this door, filtering what can and cannot enter. This is why mastering the dialogue within is paramount. It is the key to shifting your self-concept, and by extension, your reality. But why does this inner dialogue have such power? The answer lies in the fact that your subconscious mind is always listening. It takes every word, every feeling, and every thought you impress upon it, and works tirelessly to bring it to fruition. The subconscious does not argue, debate, or question. It accepts as truth whatever you repeatedly tell it. If your inner speech is filled with complaints, doubts, and fears, the subconscious will faithfully reproduce these in your life. But if you affirm positivity, success, and joy, it will just as faithfully bring those into being. The good news is that you have the ability to change your inner conversation at any moment. You are not bound by the scripts of your past. The stories you tell yourself today have the power to overwrite the ones that no longer serve you. This requires deliberate effort and awareness. Begin by observing your inner speech. What are you telling yourself in moments of quiet? Are your thoughts aligned with the life you want to create, or are they sabotaging your desires? This simple act of observation can reveal patterns that you might not have been aware of before. Once you become conscious of your inner dialogue, the next step is to take control of it. This is not about forcing yourself into blind positivity, but about intentionally directing your thoughts in alignment with your goals and aspirations. Let's start by affirming what you wish to be true. If you desire confidence, repeatedly tell yourself, "I am confident, I am capable, I am strong." Say it not as a wish, but as a fact. The words must carry conviction, because your subconscious responds to the feeling behind the words, not just the words themselves. The power of inner conversations also lies in their persistence. It is not enough to affirm something once and expect miraculous change. Your inner speech must become a habit, a consistent thread running through your daily life. This is not as difficult as it may seem. Every moment you catch yourself slipping into negative or limiting thoughts, replace them with affirmations of your desired state. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, and your subconscious begins to reflect these new patterns. It is important to note that your inner conversation does not operate in isolation. It is deeply intertwined with your emotions and beliefs. Words spoken without feeling or belief carry little weight. This is why imagination and visualization are powerful companions to your inner dialogue. When you affirm something, pair it with a vivid mental image of that truth. For instance, if you are affirming abundance, imagine yourself living in that state, perhaps walking through your dream home, enjoying financial freedom, or feeling the deep peace that comes with security. By doing this, you impress the idea more deeply into your subconscious. Resistance is a common challenge in mastering inner conversations. Doubts may arise, especially if your current reality seems far removed from what you are affirming. This is where persistence becomes critical. Remember that your current circumstances are the result of past inner conversations. They are not permanent. By continuing to affirm your desired state, you are planting new seeds that will eventually blossom, replacing the old. Another crucial aspect of inner conversations is how they shape your interactions with the world. Your inner dialogue influences how you perceive others and how you respond to them. If you habitually think negatively about people or situations, you are likely to encounter more negativity in return. But if you choose to see the good, to affirm harmony and understanding, you will find your relationships transforming for the better. The transformation brought about by mastering your inner conversation is not limited to one area of life. It touches everything: your health, your relationships, your career, and your sense of purpose. When you take control of your inner dialogue, you reclaim your power as the creator of your life. You are no longer at the mercy of circumstances or other people. Instead, you become the deliberate architect of your experience, shaping your world with every thought and word. Inner conversations are the bridge between your inner world and the outer world. They are the silent force that governs what you attract, what you repel, and what you become. To master them is to master your life. Life from the end is to dwell mentally in the state of your fulfilled desire, as though it were already a fact. It is a practice of seeing the world not as it is, but as you wish it to be. This approach is not about daydreaming or wishful thinking. It is about assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled and living in harmony with that reality until it hardens into fact. At its core, living from the end is about alignment. It requires aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the life you desire to create. The principle is simple yet profound. You must be the person who already possesses what you seek. If you desire love, you must live as though you are already deeply loved. If you desire abundance, you must carry yourself with the confidence and ease of one who is financially free. This alignment is not about pretending or deceiving yourself. It is about embodying the truth of your desired state so completely that it becomes inevitable. One of the greatest challenges in living from the end is transcending the evidence of the senses. The physical world constantly presents you with facts that may contradict your desires. Perhaps your bank account shows a balance far removed from abundance, or your current circumstances seem devoid of love, success, or health. Yet, to live from the end is to rise above these appearances. It is to understand that the outer world is but a shadow of your inner state. What you see now is merely the result of past thinking. To change your reality, you must first change your inner world. Living from the end is not a passive state. It is an active, deliberate practice. It begins in the mind with the power of imagination. Close your eyes and create a vivid mental picture of your fulfilled desire. See yourself in the scene of your ideal life. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? Engage all your senses to make the experience as real as possible. For example, if your desire is to own a home, imagine yourself walking through its rooms, feeling the textures of the walls, hearing the echoes of your footsteps, and smelling the fresh paint. The more vivid and detailed your imagination, the more effectively you impress this vision upon your subconscious mind. But imagination alone is not enough. It must be accompanied by feeling. Feeling is the secret ingredient that gives life to your mental picture. Ask yourself, how would I feel if my desire were fulfilled? Would you feel joy, peace, gratitude, or relief? Whatever the emotion, allow yourself to experience it fully in the present moment. This feeling is not a reaction to external circumstances, but an internal state that you generate. By consistently feeling the emotions of your fulfilled desire, you condition your subconscious to accept this reality as true. Living from the end also requires a deep trust in the unseen. You may not know how or when your desire will manifest, and that is perfectly fine. The how is not your concern. It is the domain of infinite intelligence, the creative power that governs the universe. Your role is to assume the end, to dwell in the state of your fulfilled desire, and to trust that the path will reveal itself. This trust is not a blind faith, but a knowing, a conviction that the unseen forces of life are working in your favor. Another important aspect of living from the end is consistency. You cannot waver between the state of fulfillment and the state of lack. Doing so sends mixed signals to your subconscious and delays the manifestation of your desire. Instead, make a firm decision to live from the end, regardless of external appearances. This does not mean denying reality or ignoring your current responsibilities. It means holding steadfastly to your vision and aligning your inner state with it at all times. Living from the end also transforms the way you interact with the world. When you carry yourself as someone who already possesses what they desire, you exude a sense of confidence and assurance that others can feel. This energy attracts opportunities, relationships, and circumstances that align with your vision. People respond to the state you embody, often without even realizing it. By living from the end, you become a magnet for the very things you seek. There is also a profound sense of peace that comes with this practice. When you live from the end, you no longer feel the need to struggle, chase, or force outcomes. You know that your desire is already yours, and you rest in that knowing. This does not mean you sit idle. On the contrary, you take inspired action that aligns with your vision. But these actions come from a place of confidence and flow, not desperation or fear. As you continue to live from the end, you may notice subtle changes in your life. Opportunities arise seemingly out of nowhere, obstacles dissolve, and people begin to treat you differently. These are not coincidences, they are the natural result of your inner shift. The world is a mirror, and as you change within, the reflection must change as well. The beauty of living from the end is that it places the power firmly in your hands. You are no longer a victim of circumstance, reacting to life as it unfolds. Instead, you become the creator of your experience, shaping your reality with every thought, feeling, and action. This realization is liberating. It reminds you that you are not at the mercy of life, you are the master of it. Gratitude is more than a fleeting emotion or a polite thank you in passing. It is a transformative state of being, a way of seeing the world through the lens of abundance rather than lack. Practicing daily gratitude opens a doorway to a richer, fuller life. It shifts your focus from what you don't have to what you do, from what is missing to what is already present. Gratitude, when cultivated consistently, becomes a powerful force that shapes your reality, harmonizing your inner state with the limitless blessings of the universe. To begin with, gratitude transforms perception. What you focus on grows in your awareness. When you deliberately practice gratitude, you train your mind to see the good in every situation, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. This practice rewires your brain, creating new neural pathways that make positivity your default perspective. Imagine waking each morning with a heart full of thanks for simply being alive. The air you breathe, the light streaming through your window, the sound of birds outside, these are not mere details, they are gifts. When you start your day with this mindset, you set the tone for positivity to flow through everything you do. Daily gratitude is also a form of acknowledgement. It recognizes the interconnectedness of life and the countless ways in which you are supported. From the food on your table to the people who enrich your life, gratitude is a way of saying, I see the abundance around me and I honor it. This acknowledgement not only deepens your appreciation but also strengthens your connection to the source of all creation, reinforcing the flow of blessings into your life. The act of expressing gratitude is equally transformative. Whether you write it down in a journal, speak it aloud, or silently reflect, the practice anchors you in the present moment. Gratitude pulls you out of the endless cycle of worry about the future or regret over the past. It grounds you in the now, where all your power resides. In this moment, as you give thanks, you align yourself with the vibration of abundance, creating a ripple effect that touches every area of your life. One of the most profound aspects of gratitude is its ability to transform challenges into opportunities. Life is not without its trials, but even in adversity, there is something to be grateful for. Challenges often carry hidden lessons, pushing you to grow, to reevaluate, and to rise stronger than before. Gratitude in these moments is not about denying the difficulty, but about finding the silver lining, the strength, the resilience, the clarity that arises from the storm. By being grateful for the lessons, you transcend the pain and align yourself with the wisdom it brings. Daily gratitude also impacts your relationships. When you consistently express appreciation for the people in your life, you strengthen the bonds that connect you. Gratitude shifts your focus from their flaws to their gifts, fostering empathy and understanding. So, imagine the impact of telling someone, "I'm so grateful for how you support me," or "Thank you for being a part of my life." These simple words can deepen trust, heal rifts, and nurture love in ways that are truly profound. On a larger scale, gratitude amplifies manifestation. When you express thanks for what you already have, you signal to the universe that you are ready to receive more. Gratitude is like a magnet; it attracts more of what you appreciate. By focusing on your blessings, you create an energetic state that draws similar vibrations into your life. Now, this is not merely a spiritual concept, but a psychological truth. When you focus on abundance, you notice more opportunities, act with greater confidence, and make choices that align with your desired reality. The beauty of daily gratitude lies in its simplicity. You don't need elaborate rituals or grand gestures to practice it. Begin with small moments. Thank your body for carrying you through the day. Appreciate the warmth of your morning coffee, or cherish the kind words of a friend. As you make gratitude a habit, you'll find it spilling over into all aspects of your life. It becomes second nature, a steady undercurrent of appreciation that colors every thought and action. Gratitude also nurtures inner peace. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you free yourself from the grip of comparison and envy. Gratitude dissolves the need for external validation, replacing it with a sense of contentment and self-assurance. You no longer measure your worth by what others possess, because you recognize the unique blessings in your own life. This inner peace radiates outward, influencing how you interact with the world and inviting more harmony into your experience. Even in the darkest moments, gratitude can be your anchor. It is the light that guides you through uncertainty, the compass that keeps you aligned with your true self. When life feels overwhelming, take a moment to pause and reflect, what can I be grateful for right now? It might be as simple as the breath in your lungs or the hope that sustains you. This shift in focus can bring clarity and calm, reminding you that even in chaos, there is something to hold on to. As you cultivate daily gratitude, you may find your heart expanding. Gratitude opens you to the fullness of life, revealing beauty and abundance in places you once overlooked. It creates a sense of wholeness, a recognition that you are supported, guided, and blessed in ways both seen and unseen. This is the power of gratitude. It not only transforms your inner world, but also shapes the outer reality to reflect the abundance you carry within. Imagination is the workshop of creation. It is the invisible force that shapes your reality, the bridge between the unseen world of thought and the tangible realm of experience. Yet, imagination is often left untamed, wandering aimlessly, reacting to the circumstances around it, rather than directing the course of life. Intentional imagination is the deliberate practice of shaping your inner world to align with the life you wish to live. It is the conscious act of creating, through thought and feeling, the reality you desire. To engage in intentional imagination is to recognize the power you hold as the architect of your own experience. Every thought you dwell upon, every image you vividly create in your mind, sets a process in motion. The universe responds not to what you want, but to who you are being in thought and feeling. This is why intentional imagination is so transformative. It allows you to step into the role of creator, consciously directing your mental energy toward the fulfillment of your desires. The first step in harnessing intentional imagination is clarity. You must know what you want. Without a clear vision, your imagination cannot act with purpose. This clarity is not about setting rigid goals or obsessing over specifics. It is about identifying the essence of your desire. Ask yourself, what is the feeling I seek? Is it joy, love, freedom, abundance, or peace? Once you understand the core of your desire, you can begin to craft a mental scene that embodies it. This is where imagination becomes intentional. Close your eyes and step into the world of your fulfilled desire. Create a vivid mental picture of the life you want to live. Engage all your senses, see the colors, hear the sounds, feel the textures, and even smell the air. For example, if your desire is to live in a beautiful home, imagine yourself walking through it. Run your hands along the walls, feel the warmth of the sunlight streaming through the windows, and listen to the echo of your footsteps on the floor. Make it real in your mind, so much so that your body begins to respond as though it were physically present. But imagination alone is not enough, it must be fueled by emotion. Feeling is the secret ingredient that breathes life into your mental images. Ask yourself, how would I feel if my desire were already fulfilled? Would you feel joyful, grateful, relieved, or excited? Whatever the feeling, allow it to rise within you as you immerse yourself in the scene. This emotional charge is what impresses your vision upon your subconscious mind, setting the creative process into motion. Intentional imagination requires discipline. It is not enough to visualize your desire once and hope for the best. You must make it a daily practice, a consistent effort to dwell in the state of your wish fulfilled. This is not about forcing or straining, it is about gently redirecting your thoughts whenever they stray. If doubt arises, remind yourself that the inner world is the true reality, and that what you imagine with conviction will eventually harden into fact. This practice is deeply personal. It is not about convincing others of your vision or seeking validation from the outside world. Intentional imagination is a private communion with your inner self, a sacred space where you shape the life you wish to lead. Protect this space and let no one disturb it with skepticism or negativity. Your imagination is your sanctuary, the place where all things are possible. As you continue to practice intentional imagination, you may notice subtle changes in your life. Opportunities may arise unexpectedly, challenges may resolve themselves, and people may treat you differently. These shifts are not coincidences, they are the natural result of the inner work you are doing. The world is a mirror, reflecting the state of your mind. When you change within, the outer reality must follow. Intentional imagination also cultivates a deep sense of trust. You may not know how or when your desire will manifest, but you trust that it will. This trust is not passive, it is an active, unwavering confidence in the creative process. You know that the same power that created the stars and the oceans resides within you, and it is working on your behalf. This trust allows you to let go of the need to control and instead focus on the joy of creation. Intentional imagination is an act of self-love. By envisioning and feeling into the life you desire, you affirm that you are worthy of it. You declare to yourself and the universe that you deserve to live a life of joy, abundance, and fulfillment. This self-affirmation is the foundation upon which your dreams are built, and it is the key to unlocking the limitless potential within you. The first step in cultivating the discipline of focus is to understand its value. Your attention is your most precious resource. Where you direct it determines the quality of your experiences and the trajectory of your life. Imagine a beam of sunlight concentrated through a magnifying glass. It can ignite a flame. Similarly, when your focus is concentrated, it can ignite profound transformation, turning vague desires into concrete realities. Yet, focus is not merely about effort, it is about intention. To focus effectively, you must know what you want. Without a clear purpose, focus becomes aimless, like a ship without a rudder. This is why clarity is the foundation of focus. Take the time to define your goals, whether they are related to personal growth, professional achievement, or spiritual fulfillment. Write them down, visualize them, and reflect on why they matter to you. This clarity will serve as your anchor, keeping you steady amidst the distractions of daily life. One of the greatest challenges to focus is the constant barrage of external distractions. Notifications, social media, endless to-do lists, these are the enemies of deep focus. To overcome them, you must create an environment that supports your discipline. Turn off unnecessary notifications, designate specific times for checking emails or messages, and eliminate clutter from your physical and digital spaces. These small changes signal to your mind that you are serious about your focus, allowing you to dive deeper into the tasks that matter most. The discipline of focus also requires prioritization. Not everything deserves your attention. To focus deeply, you must be willing to say no to distractions, even those that seem urgent but are not truly important. This may mean declining invitations, postponing tasks, or stepping back from obligations that do not align with your goals. Remember, every no to something unimportant is a yes to what truly matters. Another key to cultivating focus is managing your energy. Focus is not just a mental act, it is deeply connected to your physical and emotional state. A well-rested, nourished, and calm mind can focus more effectively than a fatigued or stressed one. Prioritize self-care, exercise, and mindfulness practices to keep your energy levels high. Recognize that focus is a finite resource. Work in focused intervals, taking breaks to recharge before diving back in. The practice of single tasking is a powerful way to strengthen your focus. In a culture that glorifies multitasking, single tasking is a radical act of discipline. When you give your full attention to one task at a time, you not only complete it more efficiently, but also with greater quality. Single tasking trains your brain to remain engaged, building the neural pathways that support sustained focus over time. Focus also thrives on rhythm. Establishing routines and rituals creates a structure that supports your discipline. Whether it's dedicating the first hour of your day to a specific task, meditating before starting work, or setting aside time for reflection, these practices help your mind settle into a rhythm of productivity. Over time, these rituals become second nature, reducing the effort required to maintain focus. The discipline of focus is about aligning your inner and outer worlds. When your thoughts, actions, and environment are all directed toward a common purpose, focus becomes effortless. It is not something you force, but something you embody, a natural state of alignment with your highest intentions. In this state, distractions lose their power, and your energy is fully available for the life you are consciously creating. Letting go is not about losing, it is about freeing yourself. It is the gentle art of releasing what no longer serves you, whether it is an idea, a belief, an emotion, or a situation. The habit of letting go is one of the most liberating practices you can cultivate, for it clears the space within you for new possibilities to emerge. It is not an act of resignation, but an act of empowerment and acknowledgement that clinging to what is no longer aligned with your growth only holds you back. To understand letting go, one must first confront attachment. As humans, we have a natural tendency to hold on to people, memories, expectations, and outcomes. These attachments give us a sense of security, a feeling of control. Yet often, they become the very chains that bind us. They weigh us down, cloud our vision, and keep us rooted in the past or fixated on the future, unable to fully embrace the present. Letting go begins with awareness. What are you holding on to? Perhaps it is a past hurt, a relationship that has run its course, a mistake you cannot forgive yourself for, or a dream that no longer resonates with who you are becoming. Take a moment to observe these attachments without judgment. The first step to releasing them is recognizing their presence. The habit of letting go is not about forcing yourself to forget or ignore, it is about acceptance. Acceptance does not mean you condone what happened or deny its impact. Rather, it means you acknowledge it without resistance. You say, yes, this is part of my journey, and in doing so, you strip it of its power over you. Acceptance is the doorway to freedom. One of the most profound aspects of letting go is understanding that holding on does not preserve the past or guarantee the future. It only robs you of the present. Think of your life as a flowing river. To cling to a rock in the middle of that river, refusing to move, is to resist the natural current. The river will continue to flow, but you will be stuck, exhausted by the effort to stay in place. Letting go is like releasing the rock and allowing yourself to flow freely with the river's course. Emotions often anchor our attachments. We hold on to anger, resentment, fear, or grief, believing that releasing them diminishes our experiences or leaves us vulnerable. Yet the opposite is true. To let go of these emotions is to honor them fully and then set them free. This does not mean you suppress or deny your feelings. It means you feel them fully and allow them to pass through you, rather than taking up permanent residence in your heart. The habit of letting go also extends to expectations. How often do we find ourselves frustrated because life does not unfold as we had planned? Expectations, when rigid, become traps. They box us into a narrow view of what should be, blinding us to the opportunities and beauty of what is. Letting go of expectations does not mean you stop desiring or dreaming. It means you release the need to control how and when those desires manifest. It is an act of trust, a belief that life is unfolding in perfect order, even if you cannot see it in the moment. Letting go requires courage. It is not always easy to release what has been a part of you, even if it causes you pain. But courage grows with practice. Start small. Let go of a minor irritation, a grudge from yesterday, or an expectation about how your day will unfold. Notice the relief, the lightness that comes with this act. Over time, you will find the strength to let go of bigger things, relationships, fears, or dreams that no longer align with your highest self. Cultivating the habit of letting go also involves forgiveness, not just of others, but of yourself. Holding on to guilt or shame weighs you down, keeping you trapped in cycles of self-judgment. Forgiveness is not about excusing your actions or those of others. It is about releasing the hold they have on your heart. It is about saying, I free myself from this burden, and allowing the healing process to begin. Letting go is not a one-time act, but a daily practice. Life constantly presents us with opportunities to release old stories, unhelpful habits, or the illusion of control. With each act of letting go, you create space within yourself. This space is not emptiness, it is potential. It is the fertile ground where new ideas, relationships, and experiences can take root. In this practice, trust becomes your anchor. Trust in yourself, in the process of life, and in the infinite intelligence that guides all things. Trust that what is meant for you will not pass you by, and what is not meant for you will fade away. This trust allows you to let go with grace, knowing that every ending is also a beginning. So, the beauty of the habit of letting go is that it aligns you with the natural rhythms of life. Seasons change, tides ebb and flow, and so too must we. By embracing this truth, you step into harmony with the world around you, no longer resisting change but moving with it. This is where freedom lives, not in clinging to what was or grasping for what might be, but in the willingness to let go and trust the unfolding journey. In the stillness of quiet reflection lies a power that cannot be overstated. It is within moments of silence that clarity is born, insights arise, and the soul finds its voice. Quiet reflection is not just a pause, it is a profound act of connection, a moment where the outer noise is silenced and the inner truth is heard. In a world that rushes forward at an unrelenting pace, the habit of quiet reflection becomes a sanctuary, a sacred space where we realign with our deepest selves. Quiet reflection is also a time to reconnect with gratitude. Amid the hustle and challenges of daily life, it is easy to overlook the abundance that surrounds you. In reflection, you can pause to acknowledge the blessings, both big and small, that have graced your journey. Gratitude shifts your perspective, turning what you have into enough and what you experience into growth. It softens the edges of discontent and opens your heart to joy. Reflection invites you to explore your intentions. It is easy to act on autopilot, driven by routines and external expectations. But in quiet reflection, you can pause to ask, why am I doing this? What do I truly desire? These questions deepen your awareness, ensuring that your actions stem from authentic intention rather than unconscious habit. They guide you toward a life that is not just lived but lived meaningfully. The beauty of quiet reflection lies in its simplicity. You need no tools, no elaborate rituals, just yourself and a willingness to listen. Yet the simplicity of the practice does not diminish its depth. As you sit in stillness, you may find that the surface-level chatter of your mind begins to fade, revealing the deeper truths beneath. These truths are not always comfortable. They may challenge your assumptions, your beliefs, or your sense of identity. But they are necessary, for they illuminate the path forward. quiet reflection also fosters resilience. Life's challenges often feel overwhelming because we lack the time or space to process them. In reflection, you can step back, gaining perspective on the difficulties you face. You can see them not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. Reflection allows you to acknowledge your emotions, understand their roots, and respond with clarity rather than reaction. It is a practice that strengthens your inner foundation, enabling you to face life's storms with grace. This practice is not limited to solitary moments. While quiet reflection often occurs in stillness and solitude, its effects ripple outward. As you cultivate awareness and insight, you bring a deeper presence to your relationships, work, and daily interactions. You become less reactive, more intentional, and more attuned to the needs of others. The peace you find within yourself becomes a gift you offer to the world. Quiet reflection is not about achieving a specific outcome. It is about being with what is. In a culture obsessed with productivity and results, this can feel counterintuitive. Yet the most profound transformations often arise not from striving but from simply being. Reflection creates a fertile ground where growth occurs naturally, where wisdom emerges not through effort but through awareness. As you integrate quiet reflection into your life, you may notice subtle yet profound changes. Your thoughts become clearer, your emotions more balanced, and your sense of purpose more defined. You begin to see connections where before there was chaos, opportunities where before there was challenge. Reflection is not a one-time event but a lifelong practice, one that deepens with time and enriches every aspect of your existence. In quiet reflection, you remember who you are. You reconnect with the still, small voice within, the voice that whispers truths that the noise of the world often drowns out. It is here, in this sacred space of silence, that you find your center, your anchor in the ever-changing currents of life. Faith is the cornerstone of all creation, not the wavering, uncertain kind of faith that questions its own validity at every turn, but an unwavering belief in the power within you to shape your reality. This faith is not rooted in external circumstances or fleeting emotions. It is anchored deep within your being, tied to the eternal truth that you are a creator, imbued with the ability to bring your desires into existence. This kind of faith is not passive, it is dynamic and active. It requires you to align your thoughts with what you desire, even when the evidence around you suggests otherwise. Imagine planting a seed in the soil. You do not see it sprout immediately, yet you water it, tend to it, and trust that it will grow. Faith in your power works the same way. You may not see the immediate results of your efforts, but you persist, knowing that unseen forces are at work to bring your vision to life. Unwavering faith is tested most during times of doubt and challenge. It is easy to believe in your power when life flows smoothly, but what about when obstacles arise? These moments are not punishments or signs of failure, they are opportunities to deepen your faith. Challenges are like the refining fire that purifies gold, strengthening your resolve and reminding you of the immense power you hold. Faith also requires patience. In a world that often demands instant results, it can be tempting to abandon your belief when things do not manifest as quickly as you would like. But true power lies in holding steadfast to your vision, trusting in divine timing. The universe operates on its own schedule, orchestrating events and circumstances in ways you cannot always see or understand. Unwavering faith means trusting that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if it looks like nothing is happening. One of the keys to cultivating unwavering faith in your power is quieting the noise of doubt. Doubt is the thief of creation, whispering fears and uncertainties into your mind. Yet doubt has no power over you unless you give it your attention. Instead of entertaining thoughts of lack or limitation, feed your faith with affirmations, visualizations, and gratitude. Focus on what you want, not on what you fear. Gratitude plays a pivotal role in strengthening your faith. When you express gratitude for what you have and for what is on its way, you align yourself with the energy of abundance and creation. Gratitude is more than an emotion, it is a powerful vibration that attracts more of what you desire into your life. By cultivating gratitude, You reinforce your belief that you are already the creator of your reality, and this strengthens your faith in your power. Faith is not blind optimism, it is a conscious decision to see beyond the surface. It is the ability to look at a barren field and see a flourishing garden, to face adversity and see it as a stepping stone to growth. Faith transforms obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into setups for something greater. When you hold unwavering faith in your power, you view life not as a series of random events, but as a perfectly orchestrated journey leading you toward your highest good. Faith in your power is also faith in the unseen. Much of what shapes our reality operates beneath the surface, beyond the reach of the physical senses. Just as you trust that the sun will rise each morning, or that the seasons will change, trust in the unseen forces working in your favor. This trust is not naive, it is the deepest form of wisdom, rooted in the understanding that the universe is always conspiring for your benefit. As you cultivate unwavering faith, you begin to notice the synchronicities and signs that confirm your inner power. A chance meeting, an unexpected opportunity, or a sudden inspiration, these are not coincidences but reflections of your faith in action. The more you trust in your power, the more life responds to that trust, aligning circumstances to match your inner state. In cultivating the habit of unwavering faith in your power, you awaken to the limitless potential that resides within you. Each thought, feeling, and belief becomes a brushstroke on the canvas of your reality, and with faith as your guide, you paint a life of intention and fulfillment. Challenges no longer intimidate you, they become opportunities to deepen your trust in the unseen forces working in your favor. Faith is not merely a belief but a way of being, a steadfast knowing that you are the creator of your experiences and that everything you desire is already within your reach. By nurturing this inner conviction with gratitude, patience, and self-compassion, you align with the flow of life and unlock doors you once thought were closed. Thank you for embarking on this journey of self-discovery, for daring to trust in your power, and for stepping into the life that is waiting for you to claim it. The universe responds to your unwavering faith. Keep believing, keep trusting, and watch the extraordinary unfold. Do you know the truth of who you are? You are not here by chance, nor are you subject to the whims of fate. Your life is a divine orchestration, and the plans for you were written long before you ever drew breath. The Creator has set a blueprint for your life, a purpose that is immovable, unshakable, and destined to prevail. Your life is not a series of random events, nor are you adrift in a sea of chance. It is, instead, the result of a divine design, a blueprint laid out by the Creator with meticulous care and purpose. This blueprint is not just an outline of your life, but an intricate plan woven with intention, love, and infinite wisdom. Every aspect of your existence, from the challenges you face to the desires of your heart, is part of this grand design. Consider for a moment the idea that before you took your first breath, your life was already mapped out. The dreams you hold, the talents you possess, and even the struggles you endure are not incidental. They are threads in the fabric of your destiny, placed there to guide you toward the fulfillment of a purpose far greater than you may currently understand. There is a reason you feel drawn to certain paths, why particular ideas ignite your passion, and why some challenges seem tailor-made for you. These are not coincidences, they are markers on the map of your divine journey. Many of us struggle with the idea of destiny, believing it to be something imposed upon us without our consent. Yet the truth is far more empowering. Your divine blueprint was not created to limit you, but to liberate you. It was designed to align with the deepest desires of your heart. Life's challenges, those desires, are beauty of the divine blueprint is that nudging you toward your highest potential. No external force, the longings we feel are not merely and no mistake as though we are moving further away from the life. The voice of God's plan is perfect, reminding you to take into account part of the divine plan. Every misstep, challenges are not evidence of failure; they are opportunities. Even when you feel lost, you are still on the path, preparing us for the blessings that lie ahead, compensating for the choices you make. As the shaping of a diamond, from its ultimate time are necessary, you are transform a raw stone, whether you realize it or not, of extraordinary value. Faith is the key to understanding and trusting this blueprint. Faith allows you to see beyond the surface of your experiences and recognize the hand of the divine at work. It reminds you that what appears to be chaos is often the precursor to clarity, and what seems like a delay is often divine timing in action. When you trust the plan, you align yourself with its flow, and life begins to unfold with a sense of ease and purpose that is unmistakable. This does not mean that you are a passive participant in your destiny. Far from it. Your role is vital, for the blueprint is not a rigid script, but a living design that requires your active engagement. Your thoughts, beliefs, and actions shape how the plan manifests in your life. When you align your inner world with the vision set out in the divine design, you unlock the power to bring it into reality. This is the partnership between you and the Creator. He provides the plan, and you provide the faith and effort to bring it to life. The world around you may try to convince you otherwise. It may suggest that your life is governed by luck, chance, or the will of others. But this is an illusion. The truth is that the Creator has already set your course, and nothing can alter it. The only thing that can delay your progress is your own resistance, your doubt, fear, or refusal to trust in the plan. Yet even these moments of hesitation are accounted for, and the plan remains intact, waiting for you to step back into alignment. Your life is a masterpiece in progress, and every moment contributes to its completion. Even when you cannot see the full picture, trust that the Creator is working on your behalf, crafting something beautiful and meaningful. The divine blueprint is not just a map of your life, it is a testament to the love and care with which you were created. Every detail, every twist and turn is a reminder that you are known, cherished, and guided. So, rest in the assurance that your life is not an accident. You are here for a reason, and every step you take is part of a journey that has been lovingly designed for you. Trust in the plan, embrace your role in its unfolding, and know that you are walking a path that leads to a destiny greater than you can imagine. There is a force in this universe that is greater than any human effort, stronger than any opposition, and unshaken by the circumstances of this world. This force is the will of the Creator, the divine intention that governs all things and shapes the destiny of each soul. It is immovable, unchanging, and resolute. No matter how the winds of life may blow, or how chaotic the world may seem, this divine will remain steadfast, guiding everything toward its ordained purpose. The immovable will of God is not a concept limited to grand, cosmic events. It is deeply personal and intimately connected to your life. Every detail of your existence is a part of this greater will. The challenges you face, the victories you celebrate, and even the detours you encounter are woven into the fabric of this divine plan. Nothing happens by chance, and nothing escapes the reach of God's purpose. What has been set in motion for you cannot be stopped, for the will of the Creator is absolute. When we speak of God's will being immovable, it is essential to understand that this does not mean it is inflexible or cold. On the contrary, it is rooted in infinite love and wisdom. It is immovable in the sense that it cannot be overpowered or thwarted. The Creator's plans for you are designed with precision, taking into account every choice you make, every obstacle you face, and every situation you encounter. Even when you feel as though you are drifting far from the life you were meant to live, the will of God gently but firmly redirects you back on course. Human resistance cannot alter divine intention. People may oppose you, circumstances may seem unfavorable, and even your own doubts may arise, yet none of these things can undo what has been set in motion by the Creator. What God has planned for you will come to pass, no matter how impossible it may seem. The will of God is not bound by human limitations. It transcends the laws of nature, the barriers of time, and the confines of physical reality. It is a force that moves mountains, parts seas, and transforms the seemingly impossible into reality. The immovable will of God often requires us to trust in ways that challenge our understanding. There will be times when life feels uncertain, or when it appears that nothing is going according to plan. In these moments, it is easy to question whether the Creator's will is still at work. Yet it is precisely in these moments that His will is often working most powerfully, behind the scenes, arranging the pieces of your life in ways you cannot yet perceive. What looks like a delay or a detour is often a necessary part of the journey, preparing you for the fulfillment of God's promises. This divine will is also a source of profound comfort. Knowing that God's plans for you are immovable allows you to let go of fear and anxiety. You do not have to worry about the outcome of your efforts or the actions of others, for the Creator has already secured your destiny. Even when things do not unfold as you expect, you can rest in the assurance that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The will of God is perfect, and it will not fail. The immovable will of God is also a reminder that no force of darkness can prevail against you. There may be opposition, but it cannot succeed in the face of divine intention. What God has spoken over your life cannot be undone. His promises are eternal, and His word does not return void. This is why you can stand firm, even in the face of adversity. You are backed by a power that is greater than anything in this world. The immovable will of God is a testament to His unwavering commitment to you. It is a reflection of His love, His wisdom, and His desire to see you fulfill the purpose for which you were created. When you trust in this will, you align yourself with a power that is unstoppable. You become unshakable, not because of your strength, but because you are anchored in the strength of the one who holds the universe in His hands. So, no matter what you face, remember this: God's will for your life is unchanging and immovable. Trust in it, align with it, and walk forward in faith, knowing that nothing and no one can stop what has already been ordained for you. I am the grand design of life. The Creator has not only set a divine plan in motion, but has also given you a significant role in its unfolding. You are not a passive observer of your destiny, but an active participant in the manifestation of what has been ordained for you. While the Creator's plan is perfect and immovable, it requires your conscious cooperation to bring it into tangible reality. This partnership is both a privilege and a responsibility, and understanding your role is essential for aligning with the fullness of what is meant for you. The Creator has placed within you a unique combination of desires, abilities, and visions. These are not random, they are sacred keys to unlocking your purpose. When you feel drawn to something, when a dream ignites your soul, it is not merely a product of your imagination. It is a divine whisper, a calling, and an invitation to participate in the manifestation of what has been designed specifically for you. Your desires are the Creator's way of guiding you toward the fulfillment of your destiny. But desire alone is not enough. Your role involves faith, a deep and unwavering belief in the reality of what you seek, even before it appears in the physical world. Faith is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the intangible and the tangible. When you believe in the fulfillment of your desires with absolute certainty, you align your inner world with the divine blueprint. This alignment is the key to unlocking the flow of divine power in your life. Faith, however, must be accompanied by action. Action is not about striving or forcing things to happen. It is about taking inspired steps that align with your vision. These steps may be small or large, but they must be taken with confidence and trust. When you act as though your desires are already on their way, you create a space for them to manifest. This is not an act of pretending, but of knowing that the Creator has already set the wheels in motion, and that your role is to meet the unfolding process with readiness and anticipation. Another crucial aspect of your role is the cultivation of your inner world. Your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions are powerful tools in the manifestation process. The Creator works through you, and what you hold in your mind and heart determines the shape of your reality. When you focus on abundance, gratitude, and faith, you align with the frequency of the divine plan. But when you dwell in doubt, fear, or lack, you create resistance to what is meant for you. This resistance does not cancel the Creator's plan, but can delay its manifestation, as the divine waits patiently for your alignment. Patience is also an integral part of your role. Manifestation does not always happen on your timeline, and what may seem like a delay is often the Creator's way of preparing you for something greater. Trust in the timing of your life. Trust that every moment, even the ones that feel stagnant or challenging, is part of the process. The Creator is never late, and what is meant for you will not pass you by. Your job is to remain faithful and continue nurturing the vision, even when you cannot yet see its physical evidence. Your role also involves letting go of control. While action and faith are necessary, clinging to the outcome or trying to force things to happen can create tension and block the natural flow of the divine process. Letting go is not about giving up, it is about surrendering to a power greater than yourself, trusting that the Creator knows the best way to bring your desires to fruition. When you release the need to control every detail, you make room for miracles. Equally important is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is already present, creating a vibration of abundance that attracts even more blessings. When you are grateful for what you have, you signal to the Creator that you are ready to receive more. Gratitude also strengthens your faith, reminding you of the countless ways in which the divine has already worked in your life. Your role in manifestation requires persistence. There will be moments of doubt, setbacks, and challenges, but these are not signs that you are on the wrong path. They are opportunities to reaffirm your faith and strengthen your resolve. Keep moving forward even when the road is unclear. Trust that every step, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to the fulfillment of the divine plan. In this grand partnership with the Creator, your role is not to make the plan but to align with it. Trust in the desires placed within you, cultivate unwavering faith, take inspired action, and surrender to the divine process. When you do this, you become a vessel through which the Creator's will flows effortlessly into the world. The manifestation of your destiny is not just a possibility, it is a certainty as long as you play your role with faith, trust, and gratitude. The challenges you face in life may seem insurmountable at times, appearing as barriers designed to thwart your progress. Yet, when you look beyond their surface, you come to realize they are not as solid or permanent as they appear. Challenges are illusions, shadows cast by your perception, shaped by your beliefs, and fueled by your fears. They exist not to block your path, but to guide you inward, to reveal the untapped power within, and to teach you that what you perceive as obstacles are, in truth, stepping stones toward your highest potential. This understanding does not diminish the difficulty of challenges, rather, it empowers you to see them for what they are: opportunities for growth, not punishments or evidence of failure. When you encounter a challenge, it is an invitation to shift your perspective, to rise above the illusion of limitation, and to reclaim your power. The Creator has placed within you everything you need to overcome any obstacle, and challenges are merely tools to awaken that inner strength. The illusion of challenges often gains its power through fear. Fear magnifies problems, making them seem larger and more threatening than they are. It clouds your judgment and convinces you that escape or defeat is your only option. But fear is also an illusion, a shadow that dissipates the moment you face it with courage and clarity. The moment you choose to see a challenge not as an enemy but as a teacher, its power over you diminishes. You realize that the true battle is not with the challenge itself, but with the belief that it has the power to stop you. Consider the nature of illusions. They appear real until you look closely, question their substance, and see through them. Similarly, challenges often dissolve when met with unwavering faith and determination. So, the Creator's plan for you is not hindered by these temporary illusions. In fact, challenges are part of the divine design, strategically placed to help you develop the qualities necessary for the fulfillment of your purpose. They are not barriers but bridges, guiding you to a deeper understanding of yourself and your connection to the divine. When you confront a challenge, it is essential to remember that it is not separate from the larger plan for your life. It is not a mistake or a deviation from your path, it is the path. Every challenge carries within it a gift, a lesson, a strength, a revelation that is meant to prepare you for what lies ahead. The illusion is not in the existence of the challenge, but in the belief that it is there to harm or hinder you. In truth, it is there to elevate you. Challenges also serve to reveal the truth of who you are. They strip away the layers of doubt, fear, and insecurity, leaving you with a clearer understanding of your strength, resilience, and potential. What may initially feel like a loss or a setback is often the process of shedding old limitations to make room for new growth. The illusion of the challenge fades as you step into the realization that you are not a victim of circumstance, but a co-creator of your reality. In navigating challenges, your inner world becomes the most critical battlefield. The thoughts you entertain, the beliefs you hold, and the emotions you nurture all play a role in shaping your experience. When you choose to see challenges as illusions, you reclaim your power to reshape them. You are no longer bound by their apparent weight or size. Instead, you rise above them, using the tools of faith, imagination, and persistence to dissolve their hold over you. Challenges are not here to defeat you, they are here to awaken you. They remind you of your divine nature, your boundless potential, and the infinite wisdom of the Creator's plan. When you see them for what they truly are, temporary illusions meant to guide and grow you, you approach them with confidence, curiosity, and grace. You no longer resist them or fear them, but embrace them as opportunities to evolve into the person you were always meant to be. Within you lies a seed, already planted, already infused with divine intention, carrying the full potential of what you are meant to become. This seed is the essence of your desires, your dreams, and your purpose. It was placed within you by the Creator before you even became aware of it, and it contains everything necessary for its growth and fulfillment. Yet, like any seed, its unfolding depends on your belief, your attention, and your willingness to nurture it. The seed does not require your effort to create it. It is already there. It does not need you to force its growth, for growth is its inherent nature. What it needs is the right environment, the conditions that allow it to flourish. This is your role, to create the mental and emotional atmosphere in which the seed can thrive. Faith is the sunlight that nourishes it, your imagination is the fertile soil that surrounds it, and your actions are the water that sustains its progress. Without these elements, the seed may remain dormant, not because it lacks potential, but because it awaits your participation. The beauty of this seed is that it carries within it the full blueprint of your destiny. Just as an oak tree is already contained within the acorn, your greatest achievements and highest purpose are already present within you. There is nothing you need to add to it, no external force that can make it more complete. It is perfect in its design, and its growth is assured when you align yourself with the natural process of manifestation. Doubt is the greatest threat to the seed's growth. When you allow fear or uncertainty to dominate your thoughts, you withhold the sunlight and nourishment it needs. Doubt tells you that the seed may not exist, that your desires are too big, too impossible, or too far away. But the truth is that the seed was planted with divine certainty. Its existence is not in question. The only question is whether you will choose to believe in its presence and act accordingly. Faith is not blind, it is a profound knowing that the seed will grow, even when you cannot yet see its form. When you plant a seed in the ground, you do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. You trust the process, knowing that beneath the surface, life is stirring, roots are spreading, and the first shoots will appear in their perfect time. In the same way, you must trust the seed within you. Its growth may not always be visible, but it is constant and inevitable. Your imagination plays a crucial role in this process. It is the soil in which the seed is planted, and its richness determines the quality of the growth. When you imagine your desires as already fulfilled, you create an environment where the seed can flourish. Every thought of abundance, joy, and success adds nutrients to the soil, while thoughts of lack and limitation deplete it. Guard your imagination carefully, for it is the medium through which the seed receives its nourishment. Action is another vital component. While the seed grows in its own time, your inspired actions provide the water that sustains it. These actions need not be grand or perfect, they only need to be aligned with your belief in the seed's existence. Each step you take, no matter how small, signals your faith in the process and your readiness to receive the fruit of your efforts. Even in moments of doubt, taking action reaffirms your commitment and keeps the energy flowing toward growth. Patience is essential, for the seed does not grow on your timetable but on the Creator's. What may seem like a delay is often a period of preparation, a time when the roots are growing deeper to support the greatness that will emerge. Trust that the process is unfolding exactly as it should, even when you cannot yet see the evidence. The seed's growth is inevitable, as long as you remain faithful and consistent in your nurturing. The seed is also resilient. It does not lose its potential because of temporary neglect or adverse conditions. Even when you falter, when doubt clouds your mind or fear takes hold, the seed remains. It waits patiently for you to return, to resume your role as its caretaker. This is the grace of the Creator's design. No matter how many times you stumble, the seed is still there, ready to grow the moment you align yourself with its purpose. The seed is a reminder of the divine partnership in your life. The Creator plants the seed, but it is through your belief, imagination, and action that it comes to fruition. The seed's existence is a promise, a guarantee that everything you desire, everything you are meant to be, is already within you. You do not need to strive to create it, you only need to trust the process and nurture its growth. When you align yourself with this truth, the seed will grow effortlessly, and its fruit will manifest as the fulfillment of your greatest dreams. Time is one of the most profound tools of the Creator, a silent force that shapes, reveals, and refines. It is not your enemy, though it may sometimes feel like it. Instead, it is the mechanism through which the divine plan unfolds in perfect sequence. Every second, every moment, every delay, and every acceleration serves a purpose that aligns with the grand design for your life. When you understand time as a tool of God, you begin to see it not as something to fight against or escape from, but as an essential part of the journey. Human impatience often causes us to misinterpret time. We want results now, manifestations immediately, and changes without delay. But the Creator does not operate on the calendar of human desires. Time serves as the weaver of events, ensuring that everything comes together in harmony. It is not random or wasted. Every moment is purposeful, preparing the ground for what is to come. Even when you cannot see its work, time is shaping you, building the foundation, and aligning circumstances so that what is meant for you arrives exactly when it should. In the rush to achieve or receive, it is easy to overlook the value of waiting. Yet, waiting is not a passive state, it is an active period of preparation. When a farmer plants a seed, they do not demand that it sprout instantly. They trust in the natural process, understanding that growth requires time. Similarly, the Creator uses time to cultivate your character, strengthen your faith, and align your desires with your readiness to receive them. What feels like a delay is often a period of unseen progress, where the roots of your destiny are taking hold beneath the surface. Time also serves as a mirror, reflecting back to you the state of your inner world. If you approach it with anxiety or impatience, it feels heavy and burdensome. If you embrace it with trust and faith, it becomes a gift, revealing its treasures in every moment. The Creator uses time to teach you patience, to show you that the process is as important as the outcome. In the waiting, you learn to let go of control, to surrender your timeline to the divine timing that is always perfect. Faith is the bridge that allows you to navigate time with grace. When you trust that the Creator's plan is already in motion, you stop resisting the flow of time and start aligning with it. You understand that what you desire is not being withheld, but is being prepared. The journey through time is not a test of endurance, but a process of unfolding. Each moment brings you closer to the realization of your dreams, as long as you remain steadfast in your belief and committed to your role in the manifestation. Time also reveals what is truly important. It strips away distractions, clarifies priorities, and shows you what is worth waiting for. In moments of frustration or doubt, time teaches you to discern between fleeting desires and the deep, lasting fulfillment that only the Creator can provide. It aligns you with the rhythm of life, reminding you that the most meaningful things often require patience and perseverance. Even when time seems to move slowly, it is never stagnant. Like a river, it flows continuously, carrying you toward your destination. The Creator uses time to orchestrate events, align people and circumstances, and prepare you for what lies ahead. What appears to be a delay is often a necessary pause, ensuring that you are ready to step into your purpose when the moment arrives. The key is to trust the process, to know that time is not working against you but for you. The challenges you face along the way are also part of time's purpose. They are not obstacles to your progress but tools of refinement. Time allows you to grow through these challenges, to develop the strength, wisdom, and resilience needed to fulfill your destiny. Without the passage of time, you would not have the space to evolve, to learn, or to become the person you are meant to be. The Creator uses time to shape you, like a sculptor shaping a masterpiece, ensuring that every detail is perfect. There is great peace in surrendering to the truth that time is God's tool. When you release the need to control or rush the process, you open yourself to the flow of divine timing. You begin to see every moment as valuable, every delay as purposeful, and every challenge as an opportunity for growth. You stop striving and start trusting, knowing that the Creator's plan is unfolding exactly as it should. Time is not your adversary, it is your ally. It is the medium through which the Creator brings your dreams into reality. Trust in its purpose, embrace its lessons, and align yourself with its flow. In doing so, you will come to understand that everything you desire is already on its way, and that the journey through time is as much a part of the blessing as the destination itself. Within every individual lies a quiet yet powerful force, inner conviction. This is the deep, unshakable knowing that transcends logic, circumstances, and the opinions of others. It is the compass given to you by the Creator, pointing you toward your true path, guiding your every step, and reassuring you even in the face of doubt and difficulty. Inner conviction is the voice of your higher self, the essence of divine wisdom within you. It whispers truths that the outer world often drowns out with its clamor. To live in alignment with this inner conviction is to trust in the unseen, to choose faith over fear, and to prioritize your authentic desires over the fleeting opinions of the world. The outer world is noisy, filled with voices that attempt to tell you who you are, what you should want, and how you should live. These voices come in many forms: social expectations, cultural norms, the judgments of others, and even your own conditioned fears. If you allow these external influences to guide your decisions, you risk losing sight of your true self and the unique path that has been laid out for you. Outer noise is often rooted in limitation, fear, and the belief in scarcity. It distracts you from your innate power and the divine connection that assures you of your ability to create and manifest. Inner conviction, however, is not swayed by these external influences. It remains steady and unchanging, grounded in the truth of who you are and the vision of what you are meant to become. When you tune into this conviction, you realize that the answers you seek are already within you. The Creator has placed within you all the guidance you need, encoded into your desires and your intuitive sense of what is right for you. This inner knowing is your compass, and it always points you toward your highest good. Listening to your inner conviction requires courage. It asks you to turn away from the crowd, to ignore the voices of doubt, and to trust in something that cannot always be seen or explained. The outer world may try to convince you that your dreams are too big, your path too unconventional, or your vision too unrealistic. But inner conviction knows better. It knows that the Creator does not place desires in your heart without also providing the means to fulfill them. When you trust in your inner conviction, you align yourself with this divine promise. Outer noise thrives on comparison. It urges you to measure your worth against others, to chase after what society deems valuable, and to conform to expectations that may not align with your true self. But inner conviction reminds you that your journey is uniquely yours. You are not here to replicate someone else's path or to meet external standards. You are here to live authentically, to honor your individual calling, and to express the fullness of who you are. The more you tune into your inner conviction, the less power outer noise has over you. Inner conviction also brings clarity. When you are grounded in this inner knowing, you can navigate life's challenges with confidence and peace. You are no longer swayed by temporary setbacks or the shifting opinions of others. You recognize that these are merely distractions, not determinants of your destiny. Your inner conviction allows you to see beyond the surface, to trust in the bigger picture, and to stay focused on what truly matters. It is the anchor that keeps you steady in the storm. The process of strengthening your inner conviction begins with stillness. In the quiet, away from the noise of the world, you can hear the voice of your higher self. Through practices like meditation, prayer, or reflective journaling, you reconnect with this inner source of wisdom. As you cultivate this connection, you become more attuned to your intuition and more confident in your ability to discern your path. You learn to trust your inner voice over the external noise, and this trust becomes the foundation of your strength. Action is also a key component of living by inner conviction. It is not enough to hear the call of your inner voice, you must also act on it. Each time you make a decision that aligns with your inner conviction, you strengthen your connection to it. You prove to yourself that you are capable of trusting in your own wisdom, and this trust grows over time. Even small steps taken in alignment with your inner conviction have the power to transform your life and move you closer to your dreams. Inner conviction is a reflection of your relationship with the Creator. It is the channel through which divine guidance flows, the means by which you align yourself with your highest good. When you prioritize your inner conviction over outer noise, you honor this sacred connection. You affirm your faith in the Creator's plan for your life, and you step into the fullness of your power as a co-creator of your reality. Living by inner conviction is not always easy, but it is always worth it. It requires faith, courage, and a willingness to trust in the unseen. Yet, when you do, you discover a sense of peace and purpose that outer noise can never provide. You realize that you are not defined by the opinions of others or the limitations of the world, but by the divine potential within you. And in this realization, you find the freedom to be truly, unapologetically yourself. Victory is assured. This is not a statement of mere hope or optimism, it is truth rooted in the divine order of the universe. The Creator does not work in uncertainty, and neither should you. When a purpose is planted within your heart, the outcome is already determined. The path to fulfillment may twist and turn, and challenges may arise, but the end is inevitable triumph. The seeds of your success were sown the moment the vision took root in your mind, for the Creator does not plant ideas without the means to bring them to fruition. To grasp this truth, you must first understand that victory is not something you earn through relentless striving, it is something you align with through faith and action. The outcome exists before you begin. Imagine a sculptor who sees the masterpiece within the block of stone before they lift a chisel. The work of removing the excess is necessary, but the vision is already complete in the sculptor's mind. Similarly, your success is already established in the mind of the Creator. Your role is not to create the victory, but to reveal it through trust, perseverance, and alignment with the divine will. Many struggle to accept that their victory is assured because they measure progress by external signs. They look to the world for validation, expecting immediate results to confirm their efforts. But true victory begins within. It starts with an unshakable belief in the inevitability of your success, regardless of what your current circumstances may suggest. This is the essence of faith: to see the unseen, to claim the outcome before it materializes, and to act as though the victory is already yours. Faith transforms challenges into stepping stones, not barriers, and keeps you moving forward even when the path is unclear. The road to assured victory often involves trials that test your commitment and resilience. These trials are not signs of failure but essential parts of the journey. They serve to refine you, to strengthen your character, and to prepare you for the responsibilities that come with success. The Creator uses challenges to shape you into the person you need to become, to fully embrace the victory that awaits you. Each setback is a lesson, each delay a moment of preparation. When you view obstacles through this lens, they lose their power to discourage you. Instead, they become evidence that the process is working, that you are being equipped for the greatness that lies ahead. Doubt is the greatest enemy of assured victory. It creeps in when results are delayed, when challenges arise, or when the voices of others question your path. But doubt is nothing more than a shadow, a temporary illusion that cannot withstand the light of your faith. To overcome doubt, you must remain anchored in the truth of your assured victory. Speak it aloud, affirm it daily, and remind yourself of the vision that was placed within you. The Creator does not abandon what He begins. If the desire exists within you, so too does the power to achieve it. Victory is also a state of being, not just an end result. When you live with the knowledge that your success is inevitable, you begin to carry yourself differently. Your actions are bold, your words confident, and your energy magnetic. You stop chasing success and start attracting it. This shift in perspective allows you to enjoy the journey, knowing that the destination is certain. You find joy in the process, peace in the waiting, and strength in the face of challenges. You are no longer swayed by temporary setbacks or external opinions because your inner conviction is rooted in a higher truth. It is important to remember that assured victory does not mean the absence of effort. Faith without action is incomplete. Your role is to align your thoughts, words, and deeds with the victory you seek. This alignment creates a powerful synergy with the divine forces at work, accelerating the manifestation of your success. When you act as though the victory is already yours, you open the doors for it to manifest in ways you cannot predict or control. The Creator works through your efforts, using them to bring the unseen into reality. Assured victory also requires gratitude. Gratitude is a declaration of trust in the process, a recognition that the outcome is already unfolding in your favor. When you give thanks for the victory before it arrives, you affirm your belief in its inevitability. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is possible, and this shift creates an environment where success can flourish. The Creator responds to gratitude by multiplying blessings, turning even the smallest victories into stepping stones for greater achievements. Your victory is assured because it is not dependent on the changing tides of the world, but on the unchanging nature of the Creator. What has been decreed cannot be undone, and what has been promised will come to pass. Your role is to trust, to act, and to align yourself with this divine truth. When you do, you will find that victory is not something you must chase, it is something you simply step into. It is waiting for you, as certain as the sunrise, ready to be claimed. All you need to do is believe. In the grand design of life, every vision, every desire, and every purpose placed within your heart is a promise from the Creator. It is not a mere possibility, but a certainty waiting for you to align with it through faith, action, and unwavering trust. Challenges are but illusions, time is a tool, and the journey is as divine as the destination. Your role is not to strive in doubt, but to rest in the assurance that the victory is already yours, carved into the fabric of the universe. The truth of your inner conviction, the quiet voice of faith within you, is your compass. Let it guide you, let it embolden you, and let it remind you that no noise of the outer world can disrupt what the Creator has ordained. Trust in the divine timing, in the perfection of the process, and in the certainty of your triumph. As you walk this path, remember that every step is taking you closer to the fulfillment of your purpose. Thank you for embracing these truths and for taking the time to connect with the divine wisdom within you. May your journey be filled with clarity, strength, and the unwavering certainty of your assured victory. You must understand this one truth: you are the source of infinite worth. When someone chooses to walk away or dismisses your presence, they are not rejecting you, they are rejecting the gift you brought into their life. This gift, unique and irreplaceable, will not appear in the same form again. Your worth is not determined by the opinions, judgments, or validations of others. It is not shaped by the fleeting approval of those who fail to see your essence, nor is it tied to the temporary roles you play in their lives. Instead, your worth originates from within, a boundless reservoir of potential and uniqueness that only you can access. You are the creator of your worth, and its foundation lies in the way you perceive yourself. In every interaction, every relationship, and every decision you make, there exists a mirror reflecting how you view yourself. The world can only echo what you project outwardly. If you see yourself as small, undeserving, or incomplete, others will unconsciously mirror that belief back to you. But when you stand tall in the awareness of your inherent value, the world will shift in response. It is not arrogance to recognize your worth, it is an act of self-honor, a declaration to yourself and the universe that you are enough, just as you are. Too often, people surrender the authorship of their worth to external forces. They allow the praise or criticism of others to dictate how they feel about themselves. Yet, consider this: if the opinions of others can elevate you, they can also bring you crashing down. True power lies in detaching from such external influences and reclaiming your sense of self. No one knows the depth of your journey, the challenges you have overcome, or the light you bring to the world. Only you can truly grasp the magnitude of your worth, and only you can choose to embrace it fully. The act of creating your worth begins with your thoughts. The stories you tell yourself daily become the foundation upon which your value is built. If you repeat narratives of unworthiness, you reinforce a reality where you feel inadequate. But when you consciously affirm your worth, even in the face of doubt, you lay the groundwork for a life where you stand confidently in your power. Thoughts are seeds, and like any garden, the ones you nurture will flourish. Choose carefully what you plant in the soil of your mind. Your worth is also revealed in the boundaries you set. When you allow others to treat you in ways that diminish your value, you inadvertently signal that their behavior is acceptable. Boundaries are not acts of selfishness, they are declarations of self-respect. By honoring your limits, you teach others how to honor you. You show the world that you will not settle for less than what aligns with your sense of worth. It is crucial to understand that your worth is not tied to your achievements, possessions, or external markers of success. These things may enhance your experience, but they do not define you. Your worth exists simply because you exist. It is intrinsic and unchanging, regardless of circumstances. The more you internalize this truth, the less you will feel the need to prove yourself to others. When you create your worth from within, you become unshakable. Relationships no longer define your happiness, and setbacks no longer erode your confidence. You learn to walk away from people and situations that do not honor your value, not out of anger but from a place of self-respect. You no longer cling to what drains you, because you trust that your worth will attract what is meant for you. This realization transforms the way you move through the world. You begin to carry yourself differently, with a quiet assurance that does not need validation. Others will sense this energy, and they will either rise to meet you or fall away. Let them. The departure of those who cannot see your worth is not a loss but a clearing. It makes space for those who will honor and cherish you as you deserve. In creating your worth, you also inspire others to do the same. Your example becomes a beacon for those who have forgotten their own value. You show them what is possible when you embrace your uniqueness and stand firm in your truth. This ripple effect is one of the greatest gifts you can offer the world. Remember, you are not the reflection of what others think of you. You are the creator of your worth, a masterpiece in progress, constantly evolving and growing. Every step you take in embracing this truth strengthens the foundation of your self-esteem. No one can take that from you. So rise each day with the awareness that your worth is not something to be earned, it is something to be recognized and claimed. In doing so, you transform your life and the lives of those around you. You are the creator of your worth, and that is a power no one can ever diminish. The way you perceive yourself is the lens through which you view and interpret the world, and that perception shapes your reality in profound ways. Your thoughts about yourself act as a foundation upon which your experiences are built, influencing the choices you make, the opportunities you attract, and the relationships you nurture. When you truly understand this, you realize that the power to transform your life lies not in changing external circumstances, but in changing how you see yourself. Self-perception is not merely about how you feel in passing moments, it is a deeply ingrained belief system that dictates your actions and interactions. If you see yourself as limited, unworthy, or incapable, you unconsciously project those beliefs outward. These projections influence your behavior, causing you to shy away from opportunities, settle for less than you deserve, or allow others to treat you in ways that diminish your value. Conversely, when you perceive yourself as capable, deserving, and empowered, you radiate confidence and attract experiences that align with that belief. The connection between self-perception and reality is a powerful example of the mind's influence over life. Consider the placebo effect in medicine, where a patient's belief in a treatment's effectiveness can lead to genuine healing, even if the treatment itself has no active ingredients. Similarly, the belief you hold about yourself acts as a placebo for your life. When you believe you are capable, resilient, and deserving of success, you create an inner environment that fosters those outcomes. The influence of self-perception extends to the way you handle challenges and setbacks. If you see yourself as a victim of circumstances, difficulties will feel insurmountable, and you may succumb to feelings of helplessness. However, if you perceive yourself as resourceful and strong, even the most challenging situations become opportunities for growth. This shift in mindset can transform obstacles into stepping stones, allowing you to move forward with purpose and determination. Relationships are another area where self-perception plays a defining role. How you see yourself determines the types of relationships you attract and sustain. If you perceive yourself as unworthy of love or respect, you may tolerate unhealthy dynamics or settle for less than you deserve. On the other hand, a healthy self-perception enables you to set boundaries, communicate your needs, and attract people who honor and value you. The energy you bring to relationships is a direct reflection of how you feel about yourself, and others will often treat you accordingly. Opportunities in life are also deeply influenced by self-perception. When you see yourself as capable and deserving, you are more likely to pursue opportunities that align with your goals and passions. Confidence opens doors, not because the world is inherently fair, but because people respond to the energy of certainty and self-belief. On the contrary, if you doubt your abilities or worth, you may hesitate to take risks or accept opportunities, effectively closing doors before they even open. Once you become aware of limiting beliefs, you can begin to replace them with affirmations of your worth and potential. This process requires repetition and consistency, as new beliefs must be reinforced to take root. Surround yourself with environments, people, and experiences that uplift and support the perception of yourself that you wish to cultivate. The energy you allow into your life has a profound impact on how you see yourself and, in turn, on the reality you create. You are the architect of your reality, and self-perception is the blueprint. The beliefs you hold about yourself determine the quality of the life you build. When you choose to see yourself as capable, deserving, and empowered, you unlock a version of reality that reflects those truths. It is not the world that must change to fit your desires, it is your self-perception that must expand to embrace them. Detachment is one of the most profound and liberating powers you can cultivate in life. It is not about withdrawing from the world or abandoning your desires, rather. It is about releasing the need to control outcomes, people, and circumstances. Detachment is freedom, the ability to exist in the world without being enslaved by its fleeting nature. When you master the art of detachment, you unlock a state of inner peace and unshakable strength that allows you to navigate life with clarity and grace. At its core, detachment is a shift in perspective. It is the realization that nothing external to you has the power to define your worth, happiness, or fulfillment. When you cling to outcomes or base your sense of self on external validation, you tether yourself to a cycle of anxiety and disappointment. Life is unpredictable, and people are not always consistent. By placing your happiness in things outside of yourself, you surrender your power to forces beyond your control. Detachment, however, allows you to reclaim that power. To practice detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop over-identifying with the results of your efforts or the actions of others. You can still have goals, desires, and relationships, but detachment teaches you to engage with them from a place of balance. You do your best, invest your energy where it matters, and then release any obsessive attachment to how things unfold. This does not diminish your passion or commitment, it amplifies them, because your actions are no longer driven by fear or desperation. Also liberates you from the burden of pleasing others. When you are overly attached to how people perceive you, you shape your actions and decisions to meet their expectations. This creates a life of compromise, where you trade authenticity for acceptance. But when you detach from the need for external approval, you gain the freedom to live authentically. You become unapologetically yourself, allowing your true essence to shine without concern for how others may interpret it. In relationships, detachment is particularly transformative. It frees you from the pain of unmet expectations and the illusion of control. No matter how deeply you care for someone, you cannot dictate their feelings, choices, or actions. When you release the need to control others, you allow them the space to be themselves. This creates healthier, more balanced connections built on mutual respect rather than dependency. Detachment also empowers you to walk away when a relationship no longer serves your well-being, knowing that your worth is not tied to another person's presence in your life. One of the most challenging but essential aspects of detachment is letting go of past hurts and grievances. Many people carry the weight of old wounds, allowing them to dictate their present. But clinging to pain only prolongs suffering. Detachment invites you to release the emotional charge attached to these memories, not by denying them, but by acknowledging them and choosing to move forward. In letting go, you free yourself from the grip of the past and create space for new experiences. Detachment is not about indifference or avoidance, it is about empowerment. It is the ability to engage with life fully while remaining unshaken by its ups and downs. It is the quiet confidence that comes from knowing that your worth, happiness, and peace are not dependent on anything external. Detachment does not mean you abandon your desires, it means you trust that life will unfold as it should, and that you have the strength to thrive regardless of the outcome. When you master detachment, you discover a profound sense of freedom. You are no longer swayed by the chaos of the world or imprisoned by the fear of loss. Instead, you stand firmly rooted in the knowledge that you are enough, that you are whole, and that no external circumstance can diminish the power within you. This is the essence of detachment, and it is the key to a life of true peace and fulfillment. The law of reflection reveals a profound truth about life. The outer world is a mirror of your inner state. Everything you experience, every interaction, and every challenge is a reflection of your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. This universal principle operates continuously, whether you are conscious of it or not. By understanding and embracing this law, you gain the ability to transform your reality, for the change always begins within. Life does not happen to you, it happens through you. The people and circumstances you encounter are not random but vibrational matches to the energy you carry within. If you are filled with doubt, insecurity, or fear, the world reflects those feelings back to you through challenging situations or difficult relationships. Conversely, when you cultivate confidence, love, and gratitude within yourself, your external reality aligns with those higher vibrations, bringing opportunities, harmonious relationships, and abundance. The law of reflection is not about blame or guilt, but about awareness and responsibility. It invites you to look within and recognize that you are the creator of your experiences. If you find yourself in recurring patterns of struggle or conflict, it is an indication that something within you needs attention. Life is not punishing you, it is showing you what needs healing or adjustment. By facing these reflections with honesty and courage, you can uncover the root causes of your challenges and begin the process of transformation. Consider relationships as one of the most powerful arenas where the law of reflection plays out. The way others treat you often mirrors how you treat yourself. If you notice people disrespecting you or taking you for granted, ask yourself whether you have been setting boundaries or valuing your own worth. Similarly, if you find yourself attracting nurturing and supportive people, it is likely a reflection of the love and respect you hold for yourself. Relationships act as mirrors, offering insight into your self-perception and emotional state. This principle also extends to your goals and desires. If you are struggling to manifest something in your life, the delay often reflects inner resistance or limiting beliefs. For example, if you desire financial abundance but carry subconscious beliefs that money is scarce or that you are undeserving, those beliefs will manifest as obstacles. The outer reality reflects your inner doubts until you address and replace them with empowering beliefs. The key is not to force change in the outer world, but to align your inner world with what you desire. Challenges and adversities are reflections as well, though they may not be immediately recognizable as such. When life presents difficulties, it is often showing you areas where growth is needed. A challenging situation might be a reflection of unresolved fears, a lack of clarity, or an opportunity to strengthen your resilience. These moments, though uncomfortable, are not punishments, they are invitations to evolve. By approaching them with curiosity instead of resistance, you can uncover the lessons they hold. Taking responsibility for your reflections does not mean you must shoulder the blame for every difficulty. Instead, it means recognizing your power to influence your reality. The outer world is a feedback system, not a fixed destiny. If you do not like what you see, you have the ability to change it, not by controlling others or forcing outcomes, but by shifting your inner state. As you heal, grow, and elevate your energy, the world around you begins to transform in response. One of the most empowering aspects of the law of reflection is that it puts the focus back on what you can control yourself. You do not need to wait for others to change, for circumstances to improve, or for opportunities to appear. When you align with the energy of what you desire, life reflects that alignment back to you. This is why inner work is so essential. It is not merely a means of coping with life's challenges, it is the foundation for creating the life you truly want. The law of reflection is both humbling and empowering. It reminds you that you are not separate from the world you experience, you are intricately connected to it. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs ripple outward, shaping the mirror of your reality. By embracing this truth, you can stop seeing life as something that happens to you and start seeing it as a reflection of your inner being. Change the reflection by changing yourself, and you will discover the profound power you hold to create a life of purpose, joy, and fulfillment. In the rush of daily life, we are constantly bombarded with noise, opinions, expectations, demands, and judgments. We tend to fill every moment with conversation, trying to express ourselves or seek validation. But in doing so, we often miss the opportunity for deeper connection and understanding. Silence, in contrast, offers a reprieve from this noise. It creates space for reflection, self-awareness, and authentic connection. When you allow moments of silence to fill your life, you open the door to a more profound way of being. Silence speaks loudly because it allows us to listen not just to others, but to ourselves. In a conversation, we often listen with the intent to respond rather than to understand. We think about what we will say next, and in doing so, we fail to truly hear what the other person is saying. Silence, however, encourages us to listen deeply. When you give yourself the gift of silence, you can hear the subtle messages that your mind and body are sending you. It is in these quiet moments that clarity arises. You begin to hear your own thoughts and desires more clearly, free from the noise of external distractions. Silence fosters introspection, allowing you to better understand your true feelings, motivations, and needs. Silence also enhances our ability to truly listen to others. When we are quiet and present, we create an environment in which others feel heard and understood. In the absence of interruptions or judgments, people are more likely to open up and share their authentic selves. Silence can therefore be a powerful tool in fostering connection and trust. It demonstrates that we value the person in front of us and are willing to give them the space to express themselves fully. Another way silence speaks louder than words is in the realm of non-verbal communication. Much of what we communicate is not expressed through spoken language, but through our body language, facial expressions, and energy. In fact, studies suggest that a large portion of communication is non-verbal. A look, a gesture, or the way someone holds themselves can speak volumes without a single word being said. Silence, in this sense, amplifies these non-verbal cues, allowing us to communicate on a deeper level. Sometimes a simple silence shared between two people can convey more emotion and understanding than any words could. Silence can communicate empathy, love, respect, and understanding in ways that words often fail to do. Silence also provides a powerful means of self-expression. Sometimes, the most profound things are those that cannot be articulated. When we are faced with intense emotions or experiences that feel too overwhelming to put into words, silence can serve as a form of release. In moments of grief, joy, or awe, words may seem inadequate to fully express the depth of our feelings. In these instances, silence speaks louder because it allows us to process and feel without the pressure to explain. It allows us to be in the moment, to experience and express through our presence without the need for verbal validation. Furthermore, silence allows for reflection, a key component of personal growth and transformation. When we are constantly speaking or surrounded by noise, we have little opportunity to pause and assess where we are in life. Silence offers the space to evaluate our actions, choices, and direction. It gives us the opportunity to step back and consider our path, to assess whether we are living in alignment with our values and desires. This reflective quality of silence can lead to significant insights and breakthroughs that words alone cannot bring. Silence is also a form of strength. In moments of conflict or tension, choosing silence rather than reacting impulsively demonstrates a deep inner control. Instead of rushing to defend yourself or prove a point, silence allows you to remain grounded and centered. In this way, silence can be a response in itself, one that carries wisdom, self-assurance, and emotional maturity. By holding your peace, you assert your boundaries and communicate that you are not governed by external forces or the need to engage in unnecessary drama. Silence is often more effective than words. Words can be misinterpreted or manipulated, but silence holds a purity that cannot be distorted. In a partnership, there are times when words are insufficient, when saying anything would only disrupt the delicate balance. In these moments, silence allows for healing, understanding, and connection to take place. A shared silence can create a sense of intimacy that words may struggle to achieve. It signifies that both individuals are in tune with each other, and that they do not need words to feel understood or loved. Silence speaks louder than words because it communicates depth, presence, and authenticity. It allows for reflection, connection, and understanding in ways that words often cannot. By embracing silence, you create space for true listening, self-awareness, and emotional expression. It is a powerful tool that can transform your relationships, your inner world, and your ability to communicate with yourself and others. In the quiet moments of life, you find the wisdom, strength, and clarity to move forward with grace and purpose. Regret is often seen as a painful reminder of missed opportunities or actions that didn't align with our values. However, regret is not merely an emotion to be avoided. It is a powerful catalyst for growth, transformation, and increased awareness. It is the result of reflecting on past decisions and recognizing the lessons they offer. Regret, when approached with a mindset of growth, can lead to profound self-awareness. As you grow more aware of your past actions, behaviors, and choices, regret becomes less about dwelling in sorrow and more about evolving into a wiser, more mindful person. It grows in awareness because it arises from the realization of the gap between our past actions and the ideal version of ourselves we wish to embody. In every moment, we are given choices, and the outcomes of those choices often serve as mirrors of our inner state. When we choose actions that do not align with our higher self, regret can appear as a feeling of dissonance and misalignment between who we were in that moment and who we wish to become. This recognition creates the fertile ground for growth because it offers us an opportunity to reflect, learn, and make different choices in the future. Awareness is the key to turning regret into something transformative. Without awareness, regret is simply a fleeting emotion that passes without leaving a lasting impact. However, when we become aware of the deeper reasons behind our regret, we are given the chance to uncover the beliefs, fears, or patterns that influenced our decisions. Regret, in this sense, is not an isolated feeling. It is part of a larger process of self-discovery. The more aware we become of the underlying causes of our regret, the more we can address these issues and change the trajectory of our lives moving forward. Often we find ourselves regretting decisions that were made out of fear or a lack of self-belief. When we choose from a place of insecurity or doubt, the results often do not align with our true desires. This is where awareness becomes crucial, recognizing that many of our past regrets stem from a lack of trust in our abilities or the fear of facing challenges. Once we become aware of these underlying patterns, we can choose to act with more courage and conviction. We can stop allowing fear to dictate our choices and begin making decisions that reflect our true values and desires. As awareness grows, we begin to see that regret is not an inherently negative emotion, but a signpost pointing us toward deeper understanding. In relationships, for instance, regret may arise from things left unsaid, actions left undone, or love not fully expressed. As we reflect on these moments, we gain insight into our communication styles, emotional needs, and the dynamics that shape our connections with others. Awareness of how we show up in relationships can help us heal and improve the way we interact with those we love, making us more empathetic, open, and vulnerable. Often reveals the gaps between our current state and our desired future. It pushes us to acknowledge the areas of our life where we feel unfulfilled or disconnected from our true purpose. This awareness opens the door to change, prompting us to reassess our goals, values, and priorities. When we see clearly the difference between where we are and where we want to be, regret becomes a motivator for change. It pushes us to align our actions with our deepest desires, ensuring that the path forward is in harmony with who we truly are. Awareness allows us to recognize that the future is not predetermined by our past. Just because we regret certain actions or decisions does not mean that we are doomed to repeat them. The growth in awareness enables us to see patterns in our behavior and take conscious steps to break free from them. We can choose new paths, redefine our values, and take bold action to create the future we want. Regret, when acknowledged and understood, becomes the soil in which new intentions are planted, leading to greater fulfillment and peace. Regret grows in awareness because it is a product of reflecting on our past choices with a deeper understanding. It serves as a mirror of our inner beliefs, fears, and desires, helping us become more in tune with our authentic self. When approached with awareness, regret is not something to avoid, but something to embrace, as it holds the key to greater self-awareness and personal growth. Through this awareness, we can learn from our past, make wiser choices, and move forward with greater clarity, compassion, and purpose. The journey of embracing regret as a tool for growth is an essential part of our evolution, leading us toward a more fulfilled and conscious life. You are irreplaceable. This simple truth holds a deep and powerful meaning that resonates with every aspect of your life. In a world where we often find ourselves comparing to others or feeling as though we need to prove our worth, it's easy to forget that there is no one else like you. Your experiences, thoughts, emotions, and presence in this world are unique. No one else can fill the exact role you play in the lives of those around you or in the grand design of the universe. The idea that you are irreplaceable comes from recognizing the incredible individuality that exists within you. The combination of your personality, your history, your values, and your vision for the future is something that no one can replicate. Even in the moments when you feel small, overlooked, or unnoticed, you are still an essential and irreplaceable part of the world. Your specific energy, your perspective, and your way of thinking are valuable beyond measure. Each person carries within them a distinct set of experiences, challenges, and triumphs. These life experiences shape the way you perceive the world and how you interact with others. No one else has walked your path, faced your struggles, or celebrated your victories in the same way. It is through these personal experiences that you gain wisdom, resilience, and empathy, which are qualities that cannot be duplicated by anyone else. The way you respond to life, how you carry yourself through hardship, and the love you give to others are aspects that make you irreplaceable. In the relationships you cultivate, whether with family, friends, or romantic partners, your uniqueness is woven into every connection. The way you show up for others, the comfort and support you offer, and the special moments you create are irreplaceable. Every conversation, every shared laugh, every moment of vulnerability adds something valuable to the fabric of those relationships. Without you, these connections would not exist in the same way. People can have many friends, colleagues, or loved ones, but no one else can be you for them. You are the only person who can offer the specific love, attention, and presence that you bring to their lives. This irreplaceability is not just about what you give to others, but about how you impact the world around you. Every action you take, whether big or small, ripples out and creates an effect. It's easy to dismiss our daily actions as insignificant, but in reality they are powerful. Whether you're smiling at a stranger, offering a kind word, or simply being present in the moment, you contribute to the world in ways you may never fully understand. Your presence brings a certain energy into every room, every conversation, and every situation. This energy is yours alone, and it cannot be replicated. At the core of being irreplaceable is the recognition that your worth does not lie in the approval or validation of others. In a society that often measures worth by external success, achievements, or popularity, it's easy to forget that true value comes from within. You are irreplaceable because of who you are, not because of what you do or how others perceive you. The most important relationship you will ever have is the one you cultivate with yourself. When you begin to understand and honor your own worth, you realize that you do not need to seek validation or comparisons to others. Your existence is a gift, and that alone makes you irreplaceable. In moments of doubt or insecurity, it's important to return to this truth that you are irreplaceable, not because of what you can do for others or how others view you, but because of the inherent value you hold simply by being yourself. The uniqueness you bring to the world is beyond measure, and no one can ever replace the essence of who you are. Even in times when you feel unseen, you are still contributing to the world in ways you may not even realize. Sometimes the struggle to see your own irreplaceability comes from comparing yourself to others. You may find yourself feeling inadequate or inferior when you see someone else's accomplishments or qualities that you admire. But comparison is an illusion. The reality is that you, with all of your strengths, weaknesses, dreams, and fears, are one of a kind. No one can offer the same combination of qualities and experiences that you can. When you embrace this truth, you stop measuring your worth by someone else's standards and begin to recognize your own inherent value. As you journey through life, the most empowering thing you can do is to remember that you are irreplaceable. Your journey is yours alone, and the impact you make on the world is uniquely yours to create. You will encounter moments where you feel lost or uncertain, but remember, those are only temporary. The world needs you just as you are, with all of your imperfections and strengths. Your presence, your actions, your options, your love, and your authenticity are irreplaceable. Every day, you are making a difference in ways you may never fully see, and that's the power of being irreplaceable. The realization that you are irreplaceable is liberating. It frees you from the constant need to prove yourself, to compare yourself, or to seek external validation. It allows you to walk through life with confidence, knowing that you are exactly as you are meant to be. You do not need to change to be valuable. You do not need to fit into anyone else's mold. You are unique, you are powerful, and you are irreplaceable. In embracing this truth, you give yourself permission to live fully and authentically. When you understand your irreplaceable nature, you stop living in the shadow of others and start shining as your true self. The world is waiting for you just as you are. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. You are irreplaceable, and that is your greatest strength. In conclusion, understanding and embracing the truth that you are irreplaceable can be one of the most empowering realizations of your life. Your unique qualities, experiences, and perspectives make you a one-of-a-kind presence in this world. Every action you take, every relationship you nurture, and every moment you live contributes to the beauty and richness of existence in ways you may not always see. By recognizing your irreplaceability, you can stop comparing yourself to others and begin to live fully in your own truth, honoring your worth without seeking external validation. Remember, you are exactly as you are meant to be, and that is enough. Thank you for embracing your irreplaceable self and for sharing your energy with the world. Keep shining brightly. Your presence is a gift. My friends, let us pause for a moment and reflect on the wonder that is God. He is not distant or unreachable, but nearer than your breath, more intimate than your thoughts. To give glory to God is to recognize this truth and live in harmony with His divine nature. God is the source of all manifestation. This profound truth speaks to the divine nature of creation and our relationship with the infinite power that resides within us. To understand this is to grasp the very essence of life itself, that nothing in existence comes to be without the will and presence of God. Every event, every form, and every experience originates from this divine source. It is not something external or distant, it is the very fabric of reality, ever present and ever creative. Consider the beauty of the natural world, the rising sun that brings warmth to the earth, the rivers that flow with life, and the trees that bear fruit in their season. These are not random occurrences, but deliberate expressions of the divine. They remind us that creation is not chaotic, but governed by an infinite intelligence. This intelligence is God, the source from which all things emerge. To see the world with such understanding is to acknowledge the divine hand at work in every detail, no matter how small. Human life, too, is a testament to this truth. The fact that you exist is itself a miracle of divine manifestation. From the intricate design of your body to the boundless potential of your mind, you are evidence of God's creative power. Your thoughts, desires, and aspirations are not random, they are seeds planted by the divine within your soul, urging you toward growth and fulfillment. Every time you act in alignment with these desires, you participate in the sacred act of creation, giving glory to the source of all that is. To recognize God as the source of all manifestation is to shift your perspective on life. It moves you from a mindset of lack to one of abundance. If God is infinite and all things flow from Him, then how could there ever be a shortage? Lack is an illusion born of misunderstanding. The truth is that all you could ever need or desire already exists in the infinite mind of God. It is simply waiting for you to align with it, to claim it as your own through faith and imagination. Faith is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, between the spiritual and the physical. To have faith is to know that everything you desire is already provided for. It is not about pleading with God to give you something, for He has already given you all things. Faith is the quiet assurance that, as the source of all manifestation, God has set the stage for your success, happiness, and fulfillment. All that is required of you is to trust in His infinite wisdom and to act as though your desires are already fulfilled. Imagination plays a crucial role in this process. It is through imagination that the formless becomes form, that the unseen becomes seen. When you imagine a life of abundance, health, or joy, you are not merely daydreaming, you are engaging in the divine process of creation. Your imagination is a sacred tool, a direct link to the mind of God. It is through this faculty that He manifests His will in your life. Therefore, what you imagine consistently and with conviction becomes your reality. This is not magic, but the natural outworking of divine law. To fully embrace God as the source of all manifestation, you must also surrender your need for control. The ego often seeks to dictate how and when things should happen, but this is not your role. Your role is to trust, to align, and to allow. God's ways are higher than ours, His timing perfect. When you surrender your will to His, you open the door for miracles to unfold. What may seem impossible to your limited understanding is simple for the infinite intelligence of God. Every manifestation in your life is a reflection of your awareness of God's presence. If you focus on lack and limitation, that is what you will experience, not because God withholds, but because your awareness is misaligned. However, when you focus on abundance, gratitude, and the certainty that God is the source of all good, your life will overflow with blessings. It is not a question of whether God will provide it, it is a question of whether you will allow yourself to receive. Gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to align with this divine source. When you give thanks, you acknowledge that God is the giver of all good things. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already have, and in doing so, it opens the floodgates of abundance. It is an act of faith, a declaration that you trust in the goodness of God and the infinite supply that flows from Him. As you walk through life, remember that you are never separate from this divine source. God is not just the creator of the universe, but the very essence of your being. To live is to manifest, and to manifest is to glorify God. Every thought you think, every word you speak, and every action you take is an expression of His power working through you. You are both the creation and the Creator, a vessel through which God's glory is revealed. In recognizing God as the source of all manifestation, you step into a new way of being. You begin to see the world not as a place of struggle, but as a canvas for divine expression. Challenges become opportunities, desires become prayers, and life itself becomes a sacred dance with the infinite. When you live with this awareness, you glorify God in all that you do, and in return He manifests His glory through you. This is the divine cycle. The eternal truth God is the source, and you are His creation, ever unfolding in love and abundance. Is the key to unlock divine power, the bridge that connects the seen with the unseen, the material with the spiritual. It is not mere hope or wishful thinking, but a profound conviction that transcends circumstances and appearances. Faith is the quiet knowing, the inner certainty that what you desire already exists in the infinite mind of God and will manifest in your life according to divine timing and order. To cultivate faith is to access the limitless power of the Creator and to become a participant in the divine process of creation. To understand faith, one must first recognize its nature. Faith is not bound by logic or confined to what the physical senses perceive. It exists beyond reason, rooted in the spiritual realm where all possibilities reside. While the world may teach us to rely solely on what we can see and measure, faith requires us to trust in the unseen. It asks us to believe in what has not yet taken form, to see with the eyes of the Spirit rather than the eyes of the body. This is not an act of foolishness but one of divine wisdom, for everything that now exists first existed as an unseen reality. But faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It is the seed from which all manifestations grow. When you plant a seed in the ground, you do not doubt that it will grow. You trust in the process of nature. Similarly, faith is the seed you plant in the fertile soil of your imagination and belief. You may not see the outcome immediately, but the seed begins to germinate the moment it is planted. It draws nourishment from your thoughts, emotions, and actions, eventually breaking through the surface to become a tangible reality. The power of faith lies in its ability to align you with the infinite intelligence of God. When you have faith, you are not trying to force outcomes or manipulate circumstances. Instead, you are surrendering to the divine flow of life. Faith allows you to rest in the assurance that God's plans are perfect and that everything is unfolding as it should. This does not mean you remain passive. On the contrary, faith inspires action, but it is action taken from a place of trust, rather than fear or desperation. Faith is the antidote to doubt and fear, which are the greatest barriers to accessing divine power. Doubt questions whether your desires are possible, while fear imagines all the ways they could fail. Both stem from a limited understanding of God's nature and His infinite capacity to provide. Faith, however, knows that with God, all things are possible. It does not concern itself with how or when a desire will manifest, trusting instead that the infinite intelligence of God will orchestrate the perfect outcome. To cultivate faith, you must first align your thoughts with the truth of God's promises. This requires a shift in focus from what is lacking to what is possible. Instead of dwelling on what you do not have, fix your mind on the vision of your desires already fulfilled. Imagine the feeling of joy, gratitude, and peace that accompanies their realization. By doing so, you are not merely entertaining a pleasant fantasy, you are activating the creative power of faith. Your imagination, infused with faith, becomes a magnet that draws your desires from the unseen realm into physical reality. Also requires patience, for divine power operates on its own perfect timing. The modern world often demands instant results, but faith understands that true manifestation requires a process. Just as a seed takes time to grow into a tree, so too does faith require time to bear fruit. Impatience can disrupt this process, leading to doubt and discouragement. However, when you trust in God's timing, you can rest in the assurance that your desires will come to pass at the right moment and in the right way. Gratitude is another essential element of faith. To give thanks before your desires have manifested is a powerful act of trust. It is an acknowledgement that what you have asked for is already given in the spiritual realm and is on its way to you. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, reinforcing your faith and aligning you with the divine flow of blessings. By expressing gratitude, you demonstrate that you believe in God's power and provision, even when the evidence has not yet appeared. Faith is not only a key to manifesting personal desires, but also a means of transforming your entire perspective on life. When you live in faith, you see challenges not as obstacles but as opportunities for growth and transformation. You recognize that every situation, no matter how difficult, carries within it the seeds of divine purpose. Faith enables you to face life's uncertainties with courage and confidence, knowing that God is always working for your highest good. Faith is a reflection of your relationship with God. It is the trust you place in His love, wisdom, and power. To have faith is to acknowledge that you are not alone, that you are supported by a force greater than yourself. It is the realization that God's power flows through you, making all things possible. When you live in faith, you become a co-creator with the divine, bringing forth the beauty and abundance of the spiritual realm into the physical world. Faith is not something you must struggle to attain. It is a gift already present within you. It grows as you nurture it, as you practice trusting in God and surrendering your fears. The more you exercise faith, the stronger it becomes, until it becomes the foundation of your life. And with faith as your foundation, there is nothing you cannot achieve, for you have unlocked the infinite power of God. God works through the power of your imagination, for it is through this sacred faculty that the unseen becomes seen, the formless takes form, and the divine expresses itself in your life. Imagination is not a trivial daydreaming tool, but the very gateway through which divine creation flows. It is the bridge between the infinite possibilities of the spiritual realm and the tangible experiences of the physical world. When you understand and embrace this truth, you unlock the key to co-creating with God, allowing His power to manifest in every area of your life. The imagination is a gift from God, a reflection of His creative power within you. Just as God imagined the universe into being, you too have been endowed with the ability to imagine and shape your reality. But every thought, every image, and every vision that arises within your mind carries the seed of potential. What you dwell upon in your imagination becomes the blueprint for your life. This is not merely a metaphor, but a spiritual law that governs the process of creation. When you engage your imagination, you are not simply thinking, you are creating. The images you hold in your mind, especially those accompanied by strong emotions, begin to influence the energy around you. These images are imprinted on the spiritual substance of the universe, which responds by aligning circumstances, events, and people to bring your vision into reality. It is through imagination that God works His miracles, shaping the invisible into the visible. Faith is the companion of imagination. To imagine something is to see it in your mind. To have faith is to know that it is already yours. Without faith, imagination remains a fleeting thought, a possibility that never materializes. But when you infuse your imagination with unwavering faith, you activate the divine power that turns your vision into reality. This is not an act of arrogance, but an acknowledgement of your divine inheritance. As a child of God, you are meant to create, to imagine, and to bring forth the desires that He has placed within your heart. It is important to recognize that God does not impose limits on your imagination. The only limits are those you impose upon yourself through doubt, fear, and a lack of belief in your own power. When you imagine freely and without constraint, you align yourself with the infinite nature of God. He works through your imagination to fulfill His divine purpose in your life, leading you toward growth, joy, and abundance. The key to using imagination as a tool for divine manifestation is clarity and focus. Vague or inconsistent images will produce vague or inconsistent results. To harness the full power of your imagination, you must be deliberate in the visions you create. Picture your desires as though they are already fulfilled. See yourself living the life you dream of, experiencing the joy, peace, and satisfaction that come with it. This mental rehearsal not only strengthens your faith, but also aligns your energy with the reality you wish to create. Emotion is another vital component. The images you hold in your imagination must be accompanied by the feeling of their reality. This is because emotion is the language of the soul, the signal that communicates your intentions to the divine. When you imagine something with strong emotion, be it gratitude, love, or excitement, you amplify the creative power of your vision. It is not enough to see, you must also feel, for it is the feeling that activates the divine power within you. One of the greatest barriers to using imagination effectively is the tendency to dwell on negative scenarios. Worry, fear, and doubt are forms of misused imagination. When you focus on what you do not want, you inadvertently attract those very things into your life. This is not because God desires negativity for you, but because the law of creation responds to your dominant thoughts and emotions. To counteract this, you must discipline your mind, choosing to imagine only those outcomes that align with God's promises of love, abundance, and peace. Imagination also plays a crucial role in overcoming challenges. When faced with difficulties, it is easy to become consumed by the problem, seeing only the obstacles in front of you. But through imagination, you can rise above your circumstances and envision a solution. In doing so, you invite divine guidance and inspiration to flow into your life. God often works through the images and ideas that arise in your mind, providing answers and opening doors that you may not have considered. Surrender is another essential aspect of this process. While you are a co-creator with God, the ultimate power of manifestation lies with Him. After imagining your desires and aligning your emotions with them, you must release your vision into His hands. Trust that He knows the perfect way to bring it to pass. This act of surrender is not a relinquishment of your power, but an acknowledgement of God's infinite wisdom and timing. Living with the awareness that God works through your imagination transforms your entire perspective on life. You begin to see yourself not as a passive observer, but as an active participant in the divine plan. Your imagination becomes a sacred space where you commune with God, where His power flows through you to create beauty, harmony, and abundance. Through imagination, you are reminded of your divine nature and your connection to the Creator. You are not separate from God, but an extension of His love and creativity. To imagine is to step into your role as a co-creator, to honor the divine spark within you. And as you use this gift wisely, you glorify God, bringing His kingdom to earth and fulfilling His purpose in your life. Surrendering your ego to the divine will is an act of profound transformation and liberation. It is the process of releasing the illusion of control and separateness and aligning yourself with the infinite wisdom and love of the Creator. The ego, while necessary for navigating the physical world, often becomes a barrier to spiritual growth when it dominates your thoughts, actions, and desires. It is the small self, rooted in fear, pride, and the need for validation. To surrender it is to step into the vastness of your true self, where the divine will flows unimpeded. The ego thrives on the illusion of individuality and self-reliance. It seeks to carve out its own path, often resisting the gentle guidance of the divine. This resistance creates tension, frustration, and a sense of disconnection from the source. The ego clings to its own plans and agendas, convinced that it knows what is best. Yet the divine will operates on a higher plane, orchestrating your life with a wisdom that far surpasses human understanding. To surrender your ego is to acknowledge that the plans of the Creator are not only greater but also infinitely more aligned with your highest good. Surrendering the ego does not mean losing your sense of self or becoming passive in life. Instead, it is the realization that your true identity is not confined to the ego's narrow perspective. You are not merely a body or a personality, but a divine being, intricately connected to the infinite. When you release the ego's grip, you open yourself to the flow of divine guidance, creativity, and love. You allow the higher self, the part of you that is one with God, to take the lead, transforming every aspect of your life. One of the challenges in surrendering the ego is its deep attachment to outcomes. The ego thrives on goals, achievements, and the validation that comes from external success. It measures worth by what has been accumulated, achieved, or recognized. While striving for success is not inherently wrong, the ego's attachment to these things often leads to a sense of incompleteness and dissatisfaction. True surrender involves letting go of the need to control outcomes and trusting that the divine will is unfolding perfectly, even when it does not align with your immediate desires or expectations. This surrender is not a one-time event, but a daily practice. It requires vigilance and humility, a willingness to recognize when the ego is asserting itself and gently redirecting your focus to the divine. Prayer, meditation, and moments of quiet reflection are powerful tools for this practice. In these sacred moments, you align your heart and mind with the will of God, seeking His guidance and releasing your attachment to ego-driven desires. Through this process, you begin to experience the peace that comes from trusting in a higher power. The ego often resists surrender because it fears losing its identity and control. It perceives surrender as weakness or defeat, but in truth it is the ultimate strength. Surrender requires the courage to let go of your limited perspective and embrace the infinite possibilities of divine wisdom. It is an act of trust, a declaration of faith in the Creator's love and provision. When you surrender, you are not giving up, you are stepping into a greater partnership with God, allowing Him to work through you in ways that exceed your imagination. The rewards of surrender are profound. When you release the ego, you free yourself from the burdens of fear, pride, and the need for constant validation. You no longer feel the pressure to prove yourself or to control every aspect of your life. Instead, you move with the flow of divine grace, experiencing a sense of ease and alignment. Challenges become opportunities for growth, and even setbacks are seen as part of a larger, divinely orchestrated plan. This perspective brings peace, joy, and a deep sense of fulfillment. Surrendering the ego also opens the door to greater love and connection. The ego often fosters separation, creating barriers between you and others through judgment, comparison, and competition. When you surrender these tendencies, you begin to see others through the eyes of the divine as reflections of the same infinite love that flows through you. This shift in perspective deepens your relationships, allowing you to love and serve without the need for recognition or reward. To surrender your ego to the divine will is to live in alignment with your true purpose. It is a return to the natural state of unity with God, where your desires and actions are guided by love, wisdom, and truth. This surrender does not mean abandoning your dreams or aspirations, but rather offering them to God, trusting that He will refine and fulfill them in the best possible way. In this partnership, you become a vessel for divine expression, creating a life that is not only successful by worldly standards, but also deeply meaningful and spiritually rich. The journey of surrender is not without its challenges. The ego will resist, clinging to its illusions of control and identity. But with each act of surrender, you strengthen your connection to the divine, experiencing the freedom and joy that come from living in alignment with God's will. This is the path of true liberation, where the burdens of the ego are replaced by the lightness of divine grace. As you walk this path, you come to realize that surrender is not the loss of self, but the discovery of your true self, the self that is one with the Creator, limitless and eternal. To recognize the divine in all things is to awaken to the profound truth that God is present everywhere and in everything. It is an invitation to see beyond the surface of life, to perceive the sacred essence that pervades all creation. This awareness transforms how you experience the world, shifting your perspective from separation to unity, from scarcity to abundance, and from fear to love. Recognizing the divine in all things is not merely a philosophical concept. It is a way of living that opens your heart to the infinite beauty, wisdom, and power of the Creator. The divine is not confined to grand spiritual experiences or holy places. It is present in the ordinary moments, the quiet spaces, and even the challenges you face. Every leaf, every drop of rain, and every encounter with another person is imbued with the essence of God. To recognize this is to step into a state of reverence and gratitude, acknowledging the sacredness of all that exists. When you see the divine in all things, life itself becomes a prayer, a celebration of the Creator's infinite love and creativity. This recognition begins with a shift in perception. It requires you to move beyond the superficial and look deeper into the nature of reality. The world, as perceived through the physical senses, often seems fragmented and chaotic. But when you look with the eyes of the Spirit, you see the underlying unity that connects all things. This unity is the presence of God, the source from which all creation flows. It is the same power that animates the stars in the sky, the flowers in the field, and the breath within your lungs. To recognize the divine in all things also means acknowledging that nothing is outside the reach of God's presence. Even in situations that seem difficult or painful, there is an opportunity to find the sacred. These moments challenge you to look beyond appearances and trust in the perfection of the divine plan. They remind you that growth often arises from struggle, and that God's presence is most profoundly felt when you turn inward and seek His guidance. Through this perspective, you learn to embrace life's complexities with faith and acceptance. Seeing the divine in others is a powerful practice that deepens your connection to God and humanity. Each person you encounter is a reflection of the Creator, carrying within them the spark of the divine. This truth remains, regardless of outward appearances or behavior. When you recognize this spark, you move beyond judgment and separation, allowing compassion and love to guide your interactions. You begin to see others not as competitors or strangers, but as fellow travelers on the journey of life, each uniquely expressing the infinite creativity of God. Recognizing the divine in all things also cultivates a sense of awe and wonder. It awakens you to the miracle of existence, the intricate balance and harmony that sustain life. This awareness invites you to approach the world with curiosity and humility, appreciating the vastness of God's creation. Whether it is the majesty of a mountain range, the delicate intricacy of a spider's web, or the quiet stillness of a sunrise, each moment becomes an opportunity to witness the divine at work. This sense of wonder nourishes your soul and strengthens your connection to the Creator. Gratitude naturally flows from recognizing the divine in all things. When you see God's presence everywhere, you realize that life is a gift filled with countless blessings. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is abundant, aligning you with the flow of divine grace. It opens your heart and mind, creating space for even greater blessings to manifest. Gratitude is not merely an emotion, but a state of being that allows you to walk through life with joy and contentment, trusting in the Creator's provision. This recognition also calls you to live in harmony with creation. When you see the divine in all things, you understand that the earth and its resources are sacred, entrusted to your care. You are moved to treat the natural world with respect and stewardship, knowing that your actions impact not only the environment, but also your relationship with God. Living in harmony with creation is an act of worship, a way of honoring the Creator by cherishing the work of His hands. To cultivate this awareness, you must quiet the noise of the ego and the distractions of the world. Practices such as meditation, prayer, and mindfulness help you attune to the divine presence. They allow you to move beyond the surface of life and connect with the deeper reality that underlies all things. These practices are not about escaping the world, but about engaging with it more fully, seeing it through the lens of the divine. As you grow in your ability to recognize the divine in all things, you begin to experience a profound sense of unity and purpose. You see yourself as part of a greater whole, connected to all of creation and to the Creator. This awareness brings peace, as you realize that you are never alone, never separate from God's love and guidance. It also inspires you to live with intention, knowing that your thoughts, words, and actions are expressions of the divine presence within you. Recognizing the divine in all things is a journey, one that deepens and expands over time. It is a practice of remembering who you are, a child of God, intricately connected to His creation. As you walk this path, you transform not only your own life, but also the world around you, radiating the light of the divine wherever you go. Through this awareness, you become a vessel for God's love and a witness to His glory, embracing the sacredness of all that is. Gratitude is one of the most profound spiritual practices, a gateway to aligning yourself with the infinite abundance and love of the Creator. It is not merely an emotion, but a state of being, a way of perceiving the world that magnifies the divine blessings in your life. When you cultivate gratitude, you open the door to an ever-increasing flow of goodness, for gratitude is the language of the soul that recognizes and honors the hand of God in all things. At its core, gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is present. It transforms your perception, allowing you to see the divine gifts already surrounding you. Whether it is the warmth of the sun, the breath that sustains you, or the love of those around you, there is always something to be grateful for. Gratitude awakens you to the miracle of existence, the intricate web of blessings that sustain and nourish your life. This awareness brings a profound sense of joy and contentment, for you realize that even in the smallest details, the Creator is present. Gratitude is a powerful amplifier of blessings because it aligns you with the divine flow. It is an expression of faith and trust, a declaration that you recognize and appreciate the goodness in your life. This recognition creates a vibrational match with the frequency of abundance, drawing more of the same into your experience. The law of divine manifestation is simple: what you focus on expands. By focusing on gratitude, you invite more blessings, for the universe responds to the energy you emit. In this way, gratitude becomes a magnet for miracles, a key that unlocks the storehouse of divine treasures. When you express gratitude, you acknowledge the source of all blessings, God. You honor His presence and provision, recognizing that everything good in your life flows from His infinite love and grace. This acknowledgement deepens your relationship with the Creator, strengthening the bond of trust and intimacy. Gratitude is a form of worship, a way of saying, I see you, I feel you, and I thank you. It is an act of humility that places you in alignment with the divine will, allowing you to receive with an open and joyful heart. Gratitude also transforms challenges into opportunities for growth. Life is not without its trials, but even in the midst of difficulty, there is always a reason to be grateful. Every challenge carries within it a lesson, a chance to grow stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Gratitude allows you to see these hidden gifts, to trust that even in hardship, the Creator is working for your highest good. When you give thanks in all circumstances, you affirm your faith in God's plan, knowing that His wisdom far exceeds your understanding. This perspective brings peace and resilience, enabling you to navigate life's storms with grace. Practicing gratitude is not about denying pain or pretending everything is perfect. It is about choosing to focus on the light, even when surrounded by darkness. It is the act of finding beauty in the ordinary, hope in the midst of despair, and joy in the simple moments. Gratitude does not erase difficulties but transforms your relationship with them, allowing you to see them as part of a greater tapestry woven by divine hands. One of the most transformative aspects of gratitude is its ability to deepen your connection with others. When you express gratitude for the people in your life, you strengthen the bonds of love and appreciation. You recognize the divine in them, honoring their presence and the ways they contribute to your journey. Gratitude fosters kindness, empathy, and understanding, creating a ripple effect that spreads positivity and healing. As you give thanks for others, you uplift not only your spirit but also theirs, creating a shared experience of divine love. Gratitude is also a powerful antidote to fear and anxiety. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance. Fear thrives on the illusion of insufficiency, the belief that there is not enough to go around. Gratitude dispels this illusion by reminding you of the Creator's infinite provision. It anchors you in the present moment, where all your needs are met, and assures you that the same divine power that has sustained you will continue to do so. Cultivating gratitude requires practice and intentionality. It is not something that always comes naturally, especially in moments of struggle. Yet, the more you practice, the more it becomes a part of who you are. Begin by taking a few moments each day to reflect on the blessings in your life. Write them down, speak them aloud, or simply hold them in your heart. As you do, notice how your perspective shifts, how your spirit lightens, and how your connection to the divine deepens. Gratitude also grows when shared. Take time to express your thanks to others, to acknowledge the ways they have touched your life. Speak words of appreciation offer acts of kindness, and let them know that they are valued. In doing so, you not only amplify your own blessings but also become a blessing to others, a channel through which divine love flows. As you walk the path of gratitude, you will discover that blessings are not something you must seek, they are already present, waiting to be recognized. The act of giving thanks reveals the abundance that has always been yours, hidden in plain sight. Gratitude opens your eyes to the divine beauty of life, the intricate ways in which the Creator provides, guides, and sustains. It is a reminder that you are deeply loved, profoundly cared for, and forever connected to the infinite source of all good. In gratitude, you find the key to living a life of fullness, peace, and joy. It is the bridge that connects you to the Creator, the lens through which you see His hand in every moment. Through gratitude, you magnify the blessings already given and prepare your heart to receive even more. It is a simple yet powerful practice, a sacred dialogue between you and God that transforms your life from the inside out. To speak and act as God's vessel is to align yourself fully with the divine purpose, becoming a channel through which His love, wisdom, and power flow into the world. It is a conscious choice to surrender your ego and allow your words and actions to reflect the divine will. This is not an act of self-erasure, but of self-realization, a recognition that your truest identity is as a child of God, created to bring His light into the world. When you embrace this truth, you transform not only your life but also the lives of those around you. Being God's vessel begins with awareness. You must first understand that the divine dwells within you, that you are not separate from God but a living expression of His presence. This realization shifts how you perceive yourself and your role in the world. You are not here to merely exist or pursue personal gain. You are here to serve as a conduit for God's grace. Every thought you think, every word you speak, and every action you take carries the potential to reflect the Creator's love and wisdom. To speak as God's vessel requires a deep sense of responsibility. Words are powerful. They create, they heal, and they inspire. When you speak with intention and alignment to the divine, your words carry the energy of truth and love. They become instruments of transformation, touching the hearts of others and uplifting their spirits. This is not about preaching or imposing beliefs. It is about speaking from a place of authenticity and compassion, allowing the divine wisdom within you to guide your expression. That every kind word, every moment of encouragement, and every act of truth-telling becomes a testament to God's presence in you. Equally important is acting as God's vessel. Your actions are the tangible expressions of your inner alignment with the divine. When you act with integrity, kindness, and humility, you embody the qualities of the Creator. You become a living example of divine love, showing others what it means to walk in faith and grace. This does not mean you must be perfect. Perfection is not required, only a sincere desire to align your actions with God's will. Even small acts of kindness, performed with genuine love, have the power to create ripples of positivity that extend far beyond what you can see. To live as God's vessel, you must cultivate a connection to Him through prayer, meditation, and reflection. These practices quiet the noise of the world and the ego, allowing you to hear the still, small voice of the divine within. In these moments of communion, you receive guidance and inspiration, clarifying how you are meant to serve. This guidance often comes not as a booming declaration, but as a gentle nudge, a sense of knowing that directs your steps. Trusting this inner wisdom is key to acting as a faithful vessel of God's will. Being a vessel of God's love and light does not mean you will avoid challenges or hardships. In fact, these moments often serve to deepen your reliance on the divine and refine your ability to act in alignment with His will. Trials teach you patience, resilience, and compassion, qualities that strengthen your capacity to serve. They also remind you that you are not acting alone. God is always with you, empowering and sustaining you as you fulfill your purpose. Living as God's vessel also means practicing humility. It is not about seeking recognition or validation for your actions, but about serving with a pure heart. Humility allows you to let go of the need for control, trusting that God's plan is greater than anything you could conceive. It also frees you from the burden of seeking approval, allowing you to focus solely on the work you are called to do. True humility is not about diminishing yourself, it is about recognizing that your power and purpose come from God. As you speak and act as God's vessel, you begin to experience the profound joy and peace that come from living in alignment with the divine. You see the impact of your words and actions, not in terms of worldly success, but in the lives you touch and the love you share. You realize that your life has meaning beyond measure, a sacred role in the unfolding of God's plan. This awareness fills you with gratitude and inspires you to continue walking this path, no matter the challenges. To speak and act as God's vessel is to live with intention, love, and faith. It is to wake each day with the prayer, "Let me be an instrument of your will." It is to see every interaction, every opportunity, and every moment as a chance to bring light into the world. This way of living is not reserved for saints or mystics. It is available to all who choose to align themselves with the divine. In this choice, you discover the true purpose of your life to be a vessel through which God's love and grace flow freely, blessing the world and glorifying His name. God's glory is your inheritance, a divine gift that was bestowed upon you from the moment of your creation. It is not something you must earn, nor is it a reward reserved for the few. It is your birthright as a child of God, a treasure embedded within your very being. To understand and embrace this truth is to awaken to the magnificence of your identity and the boundless potential that resides within you. The concept of inheritance suggests something passed down, something that has always belonged to you by virtue of your relationship with the giver. In this case, the giver is God, the creator of all that exists. He has endowed you with His essence, His light, and His glory. This inheritance is not material wealth, but a spiritual abundance that transcends the physical. It is the power to create, to love, to forgive, and to manifest the highest good in your life and in the lives of others. To claim your inheritance is to step into your divine power. It is to acknowledge that you are co-creator with God, endowed with the ability to shape your reality through your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. This power is not born of arrogance, but of humility, for it comes from the recognition that your strength lies in your connection to the source. When you align yourself with God's will, you tap into the unlimited potential of His glory, allowing it to flow through you and manifest in every aspect of your life. Your inheritance is also a call to responsibility. To carry God's glory is to bear witness to His love and grace. It is to be a light in the world, reflecting His goodness through your words and actions. This does not mean striving for perfection, for God does not require flawlessness. It means living authentically, allowing His glory to shine through your humanity. Every act of kindness, every moment of compassion, and every expression of gratitude becomes a testament to the divine inheritance you carry. God's glory is not something to be hoarded or hidden. It is meant to be shared, to flow through you and touch the lives of others. When you embrace your inheritance, you become a vessel of blessing, a channel through which God's love and power reach the world. This is the essence of living a life of purpose, using your gifts, talents, and resources to serve others and glorify God. In doing so, you fulfill the divine intention for your existence, aligning yourself with the higher plan that governs all things. One of the most profound aspects of your inheritance is the peace that comes with it. God's glory is a source of reassurance, a reminder that you are never alone or forsaken. It is the quiet confidence that no matter what challenges you face, the Creator is with you, working all things for your good. This peace surpasses understanding, for it is not dependent on external circumstances. It is rooted in the eternal truth of your relationship with God, a truth that remains unshaken by the storms of life. To live in the fullness of your inheritance is to let go of fear and limitation. It is to release the false beliefs that tell you are unworthy, incapable, or separate from God. These illusions only serve to obscure the glory that is already yours. When you surrender these lies and embrace the truth of your divine identity, you step into a freedom that cannot be taken away. You begin to live from a place of abundance, joy, and confidence, knowing that nothing can diminish the glory within you. Gratitude is a key to unlocking the awareness of your inheritance. When you give thanks for the blessings in your life, you align yourself with the frequency of God's glory. Gratitude amplifies your connection to the divine, allowing you to see and experience more of the goodness that surrounds you. It is a practice that transforms your perspective, enabling you to recognize the hand of God in every moment and to celebrate the magnificence of your inheritance. Your inheritance is a reflection of God's love for you. It is a reminder that you are cherished, valued, and deeply connected to the source of all life. To embrace this inheritance is to honor the Creator and to live in alignment with His purpose for you. It is to walk in the light of His glory, radiating His love to the world and fulfilling the divine potential within you. This is your birthright, your gift, and your calling to live as a child of God, bearing His glory and sharing it with all. In conclusion, the essence of all these truths is that your connection to the divine is unwavering and eternal. God's glory is not just a distant ideal, but a living reality within you, shaping your life, your thoughts, and your purpose. When you recognize yourself as God's vessel, embrace gratitude, and surrender to His will, you unlock the infinite power of the divine that resides in your very being. Your faith becomes the foundation for a life that reflects His love, abundance, and peace. Remember, this journey is not about striving for perfection, but about aligning with the truth of who you are, God's creation, blessed and deeply loved. Each step you take in faith, each act of kindness, and each moment of surrender draws you closer to living as the divine intended. Walk forward with courage, knowing that His light shines through you and His power moves with you. Thank you for taking this journey of reflection and exploration. May you carry these truths in your heart, allowing them to guide and inspire you. May your life be a testimony to God's glory and a blessing to all those you encounter. Thank you, and may divine peace and love accompany you always.